What it good be? Hopefully this what it should be. This your boy N.O.R.E.
What up, is DJ EFN.
And this motherfucking Drink Champs Yappy Hour. Make some noise! Now, I said this before on the show, on the podcast, is how much I love and how much love that I want to give to the people that make you great. The more that you go in life, you realize you never got there by yourself.
Right.
Especially if you're doing great shit.
Right.
If you're doing mediocre shit, you probably got there by yourself. But if you're doing something great, you had somebody behind yourself that didn't want to be on the camera. You had somebody, I think we spoke about this the other day. When you ask somebody to be your manager, you actually asking them to put your life in front of them. Because it's gonna come a time they're gonna have to pick between their daughter, you, their son's graduation, you at Summer Jam, and all this type of crazy shit. And management runs the world. They are the real people that's behind the scenes, the people that's making the calls, the people that's making, and it's bigger than just management. So a lot of times when I do these episodes, when we do these episodes, I give an intro. I don't want to miss anything that these brothers ever did, so I want to do something different this time. I want these two brothers, this is the two brothers that I've chose to pick for the management segment, but I want them to introduce themselves because I don't want to miss a title from you because you got so many titles, and then I'm gonna take it from there.
Bring down the mic, sorry.
Okay. I don't even know how to do that. My name is Eric Nicks.
Special note for Eric Nicks.
Janitor.
I say that too. You know, I say maintenance, but thank you.
I learned from. I was fortunate enough to learn from the best, Chris Lighty, and he said, if you've seen a piece of paper on the floor, you pick it up, or if you have to be the one on a private jet, you do that too. So everything in between, and that's my title.
God damn, Mr.
James Cruz. I guess the best way to say it is birthed by Lighty and raised by Puff.
God damn it, makes some noise. I think that's an intro shit.
Hold on. This is Drink Champs,
yes,
right?
this is Drink Champs.
Okay.
I'm drinking some Moet.
And before we move on,
yes,
right? And I don't drink, but we have to. We have to take a shot for the guy who is responsible for all three of us.
Chris Lighty?
Chris Lighty.
God damn it.
We have to.
We will.
Rest in peace, Chris.
Rest in peace,
Chris.
Let me, and you know I'm gonna get a little bit weird with it. Because I look at Rock Nation, and for lack of a better word, I'll come up with a better term later, but it looks like a direct interpretation, or I don't wanna say copy, but it looks like something that was motivated solely from what Violator did. You know what I'm saying? From what Violator had.
Violator was a blueprint.
Well, yes. But you got to start with Flavor Unit.
I was gonna say Rush Management.
You got to start Rush Management.
What came first?
Rush Management, Flavor Unit, Violator, Rock Nation.
That's real.
It was called an
real.
evolution, just like hip hop evolved, the management business
I like
evolved.
that, James.
You know what I'm saying? Like you never know where you're going unless where you came from. But remember, who came from Rush Management? Chris.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So give it up to baby Chris because he took it to the next level. And we the last of the Mohicans right here. We the last of that fingerprint of true management. I don't see many managers traveling with their artists anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see many managers taking their artists to the radio station. You know what I'm saying? When their artists don't like showing up. You know?
So is that something that you guys take pride in? Is that, or like you said, it's the evolution?
I mean, you have to give credit to the ancestors that came before you in life and in business. Of course, we take pride in the fact that we're keeping his reputation, we're keeping his vibe alive. You know, Chris ain't here no more. We're blessed to be here. You know, so we got to keep that alive, and it's our job to pay it forward to the next generation. Because if we don't, then what are we here for?
Yeah, what's the legacy? What legacy do you leave?
And further,
let's go eat.
When it was Violator, and I started at Violator Def Jam. When we was in 160 Varick Street.
Okay, let me just describe this to the people that you just described.
100%.
Okay, 160 Varick, for the people that's been down with Drink Champs, this is the office we used to go get your hair cut. You could roll dice, buy marijuana, and get a check from Todd Moscow.
Hey, let's give it up for Mona Scott too. Let's give it up to Mona Scott. You know what I'm saying? Come on, can't do that.
And so at 160 Varick Street, the culture was to make that shit happen. no matter what. We don't care what you got to do. We don't accept excuses.
Right.
It's make it happen.
Right.
So when you say we travel with our artists, we go to the studio with our artists, we making sure that, we go into the artist's girlfriend's crib to make, like the shit that I ran around and did with Foxy, the shit that I ran around and did with Busta.
You know what, you guys were more like, it was like y'all was our management label.
Of course. Yeah.
Like, it was like y'all was our management, but y'all had different labels.
I gotta be honest with you. I can't even remember going too many times at Penalty Records and having, we did that shit. No disrespect to Neil. Shout out to Neil Levine.
Right, that's my man. He knows.
But we did that shit. You know what I'm saying? We didn't give a fuck about who wanted N.O.R.E. to do. We made that shit happen.
Let's make some noise for that, goddammit. So just for the people that don't understand what happened in my career. In my career, I actually got an opportunity to do a record on the Firm album. That's why this Nas album that just came out, this Firm record, it means the world to me. I've been speaking to every body on the Firm except for AZ. I haven't spoken to AZ yet. I don't know what's going on with him, man. He's acting too.
We need him on
AZ, every time I see... No, AZ always shining. I don't give a fuck. When I see him in the streets in New Jersey...
He would shine his ass on drink checks.
That nigga always...
It's a phone call. Well, you want me to hit him right now?
So I'm looking at this and I'm like, I'm just reminiscent of how, life was. Like, this was, for lack of a better, this was like the one-stop shop. Like when you went to Violator, like you could speak to people from Coca-Cola.
Damn right.
You could speak to people from Fubu. You just go there and just Reebok, and it was just like.
But you ain't finished. How did you get to Violator?
Okay, yeah, this is what I'm saying. How I got to Violator. This is 100% real story. After the Firm album, I was hot. But I didn't know what hot meant. Right? I didn't know that people is getting my two-way number, and I never gave them my two-way number. That means that you're hot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people are hitting you like Steve Rifkin is like, hey, how you doing? Like, who is this? Steve Rifkin.
And to
Who's
reel it
Steve
back,
Rifkin? That's the nigga that no answer.
And to reel it back is because CNN was hot, but as a group now, I'm Leaving comes out as a solo artist now. That's
why you're a great partner.
Right.
Because CNN was hot.
Right.
I didn't have management to put me into those markets to capitalize off of CNN being hot.
Right.
What happened was Nas was on the CNN original album. He didn't clear the record. The record didn't get cleared, so he paid me back and put me on the Firm album. From the Firm album, that our record went so fucking crazy. And I remember Busta Rhymes saying, yo, he needs to be on Violator. That's what he told Chris. Like, yo, N.O.R.E, you need to be on Violator. And I was walking through because Busta always had a big voice. So I was just like, oh, okay, this is how it works. And then I was like, all right, cool. And I had a meeting. And this was the crazy. It was in Penalty Records, and Steve Stout came, Mark Pitts came, a whole bunch of other people came, and Chris was the only one who stayed. And when he couldn't stay, he had left Dave Lighty there. And from that moment, I said, I'm fucking with y'all. But I did not know. I didn't know what management was because, God bless, I was coming from homeboy management. I was coming from hood management. So I always thought, we figured this out together. I didn't know there was experts. I didn't know there was people that's professionals. There was like,
teams.
No, buddy, we don't just go do a tour. We get sponsors. And I'm like, what? We don't. And so this was my first encounter with a professional management company. I had been around Rush. I had never, obviously, I was a little bit too young, and I wasn't on when I was at. But Violator was the first professional thing that you had a position to do. You had a position to do. These people had a position. What was the meetings like when you guys got together?
I mean, the first part of the meeting was very clear. When you got to the table, the plan was take the table. It wasn't just have the meeting and come up with the marketing plan and just turn it over to the record label. Because basically, Eric and I would sit in meetings with Chris in the office. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Eric gave his input on the records and the producers. I gave my input on the brands and the marketing and the positioning and the street team. And Chris said, okay. And then we go into the meeting with a strategy. To the point where Chris and I would actually have codes in the meetings. When Chris wanted me to shut up, Chris would go like this. When I, he would literally yo, cut it out. You know what I'm saying?
Like the pitches, like the batters and the runners.
It was like a baseball game. Or when I disagree with something, I just go. When I hit the table like that, Chris knew I disagreed. So we had a strategy. But the meetings was so we had respect for one another. Wasn't nobody looking over how much money you making, what car you driving, what kind of watch. No, it was like we in this together, and we in it with our artists. The manager Chris and the label that jams. We're with our artists. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. And we had them all. We had everybody. Because let me be clear, it's not that easy to juggle you and Busta and Missy and Tom.
Listen, they had Ja Rule and 50 Cent at the same time. I was like, yo, you got too much with this. I don't know which one's gonna stay.
We're gonna leave Hot 97
I
alone.
don't even remember. You know, Ja Rule is on the Violator compilation first album.
Yes.
Him and Missy Elliott. Rapping about ecstasy.
You know, we was all on a plane together going down to Hot Night Jamaica. Remember that? You know, playing basketball.
By the way, Hot Night Jamaica was one of my first times ever saying I love hip hop. Like I love the fraternity of hip hop. I know we don't have a fraternity, but like when I see Angie Martinez waking up in the morning, and I see 112, even though I threw their football,
the basketball
in the roof. I was a foul guy. But even like when I see it's the camaraderie. And like the fact is, we are a fraternity. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I see Curious George,
right?
Like I never met Curious George, right? Like,
never met you, said?
I don't think so. And if I have, I don't remember. I might have not been famous when I met him. But the fact is, he was one of the first Puerto Ricans. I'm a bow to him. You know what I'm saying? Like if I see, X Clan and things like that, even though I never met X Clan, I would go to them, and it's because even though don't know them physically, I don't know them. I think I know them in my mind, because of the contributions they did to hip hop, and I feel like we're all that night, that time in Hot Night Jamaica, that made me feel like a family in hip hop. Like I was like finally like I was like not making money. Isn't that fucked up? Like you would think making money, like I'm here
at the Roach Motel, at the Roach Motel in Jamaica.
The shit was sweating. It was like oh shit, Jay-Z. It was Jay-Z's birthday. He landed. Crystal. I didn't get no crystal.
Red Stripe.
Nigga, Red Stripe. He gave him Red Stripe. Yeah, and a joint. This was like, and that was my first time. Like, you know what? I could really be a part of this because I used to come into this game, everybody's fake, everybody, and I thought I was like a tough guy and I was an idiot until I started to realize, like right now, if I had to call 20 people, like of people that are close to me or people that I can trust, at least 10 of them would be from the industry.
Wow.
When I started out, none of them. At all. But I got at least 10. And
record company people are shady.
If you count Fat Joe and like a Busta.
So let me ask you a question. If you wasn't hot, how many of them could you call?
I can't lie. There's a lot of people who held me down when I wasn't hot.
Yeah.
When I wasn't hot.
Shout out to that.
Because
that's very real support.
Like I ain't gonna lie. Like if you ever fucked up in the game or you ever need like inspiration and you ever need somebody to tell you to get up the fuck out your ass, call Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes.
I promise you, bro. He will not let you.
I'm not understanding why you ain't making the move because you know God.
Yo, I don't give a fuck. Since I've met this guy, Busta Rhymes.
Can't give him a sad story.
Since I've met this guy, Busta Rhymes, once a week, no matter what, this nigga will pick up the phone and check me. Yo, where you at, God? You good? All right, come through and see. Like, for no reason. We don't even have to be getting no money, no nothing. That shit is genuine. That guy, he's right. That guy is the most genuine artist. Him and LL Cool J are two of the most genuine artists that I have had big parts in their career, and they've had so much of my life that and Bus is just always there, no matter what.
Well, you gotta understand, man. It wasn't a business.
I heard you say Todd. And it's always interesting to me, right? Because I grew up in Queens. I grew up in 97-30 57th Avenue. I can never call him Todd. I can never call him James. Like I can never do. I get it, but me growing up, he's always LL.
I consider him one of my closest friends, and I still call him. I say L.
I can't do it.
I currently manage his daughter right now. And I still call him L. I go to his crib in his refrigerator. You're L. Like,
but you gotta understand. But you gotta understand.
There's only a couple of people call him Todd.
But you gotta understand why.
Who?
Claudine.
But there's a reason for that. There's a respect there. You gotta understand. 2 weeks into the job at Violator, I had to tell LL his record was not working at Def Jam.
All right.
How do you do that?
Oh yeah, exactly. How do you tell the biggest star on the face of the earth?
Hold on a second. You said he's just coming to Violator?
No. 2 weeks into my job at Violator.
You coming to Violator.
I'm coming to Violator. You know what I'm saying? So it was, all right, James. I forgot the record on Def Jam.
Who gives you this job?
Wait. So Chris set me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it 100. Chris was the king of the setup. The king of the setup. He was like, yo, you read the BDS? Did you look at the sound? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I had to, and you remember Chris's office was in the back corner. He was in the middle, and I was next door to Mona.
Right.
So it was
and this is the office on 25th Street?
No. This is on Lexington Ave.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah. And Chris was like, yo, we're gonna have to switch up. I was like, okay, cool. I let him know. I was with Puff. Right. There was no gray area with Puff. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. And Puff respected that. If I said, yo, this Forever album ain't working, Christina Aguilera just kicked our ass. And although Puff would feel a certain way, he understood the business side. So I'm thinking, let me go over here and do him the same way. You better learn management, boy. You ain't a promo man no more. And I told Todd, the record ain't working.
And that's around the time when Chris was like, all right, Eric, I don't want to diss nobody, but Bimmy's not making his music anymore. You're making his music now. And that's when I started, and I got in touch. I'm actually the first person to ever give LL a #1 single.
Nice. So I'm glad me getting my head chopped off in that meeting helped you get into your space. I got my head chopped off. He got the N.O.R.E credit.
That was with Pharrell.
But Pharrell.
Love you better.
Better?
So L's had big records with Boys to Men, a lot of different artists even doing it. But his first #1 single, Hot 100, #1 single in the country was Love You Better. And the second one I also did too, which was Headsprung.
Remember, got your head sprung.
Remember, Lighty managed him every other record.
Yo, you know what's fucked up? I was about to say that. Because L's career is one shit is platinum, then one is gold. Then one is platinum, and then one is gold. It's true.
And we should do the math. Let's see who was managing him at the time they was platinum.
You know what L told me?
And who was doing the N.O.R when it was platinum. So let's keep it on it.
Manage every other record.
You know what hold on. You know what he said? He said on Drink Champs when we asked him, I said, yo, because your shit, he said, it humbled me, N.O.R.E. So it's like every album did what it was expected, and the next album did great, but it just wasn't expected, and it humbled him, and he went back in, and it's like that's because you're still winning, that's crazy.
But you gotta give him credit for trying to do things. You know what I'm saying? Like he made the first love song ballad rap record, and then he got gold paint on him in a video. Like he tried to push the boundaries.
KRS said LL wouldn't last in the versus battle. How do you feel about that?
You want to put me back? You want to get me back with Todd? You want to put me back with?
I was asking KRS.
LL Cool J.
Yo, my man Hakeem, he's sitting here too.
That's KRS' cousin.
Yo, he texted me.
Better watch out. He gonna KRS.
This nigga texted me. Yo, I felt kind of disrespected that day too. I'm keeping it real with you. He texted me. He was like, yo, what you think about LL Cool J and KRS-One? And I put LOL, no competition, right? Because I don't think, no disrespect to KRS-One, you can't fuck with LL, bro. Not record for record, you fucking crazy.
Who's being disrespectful? He is or he is?
I think it would be a different kind of verses. It wouldn't be like the ones we've been having.
You know why? I'm gonna be honest.
Come on, bro. LL?
When Fab went to his girl records against Jada, it almost lost the crowd because Jada took over the room with his energy, baby. When he was doing like this,
energy.
So I don't think LL will lose his energy.
No,
I don't think so.
Did you see him? Did you see him on Instagram the other night? You see him rhyming?
I'm like, yo, let's be clear. Hold on, let's be clear though. So, you go through his catalog. He got Ill Bomb, he got Headsprung, he got a lot of records that you gonna fuck
by the way,
like,
fellas, I want to be clear. I wasn't there, but I was around when the Canibus shit happened.
Right.
Like, L wanted that.
Is that a mic on your arm?
Like, listen to me. Canibus was the most lyrical, Jericho, Syrical by Chimerical, by Biblical.
Can I tell you something?
At that time, hold on, let me take my side of it. And for L to say, yo, I feel like he went at me.
That's ill. Yeah.
And he took the challenge. Like he left the dude on his record and dissed him on his record. That's like, yo, all right, I'm gonna leave Drake on my record right now. And I'm gonna be like, you light skin boy.
But that's the culture he came from. And that's the era he came from.
Yo, but what I'm saying is that's still a risk. Like, I don't know nobody who would put Nas on a record and then diss Nas on the record. That's because at that point we didn't know Canibus was gonna go down. We didn't know who was gonna sign to Wyclef and it was gonna be over after that. We didn't know that.
Jesus.
Damn, that was a quick subliminal on that.
Felt like that.
No, you just told the truth.
Go listen to I Shot Ya. Go listen to his verse on I Shot Ya.
This is what I'm trying to say. But L took that challenge on. This is the young boy. This is the young lion. Most people run away from the young lion and want to get down with him. When they get, and he wanted to get down with him. But once he took a shot at L, because you know L, the story is L said, change that line. And he didn't change the line.
Nah.
That's not the story?
Nah.
Oh, I made that part up. I think I might have made that part up. He was saying that. I think I wrote that part up too.
Come on, Eric, tell us the truth.
The old Hit Factory.
Okay.
The old Hit Factory. And the nigga Canibus just was like, yo.
Talking about this mic and all.
Yo, that fucking tattoo is crazy. Yo, real talk. Yo, real talk. You mind if I get that same tattoo? And the nigga L was like, all right, shorty. Like he was like, all right, shorty. And what people don't understand is LL Cool J is always writing. And just to jump from song to song, when you listen to I Shot Ya, and he take a stab at Fox, like female rappers can get it. I don't give a fuck, boo.
He took a shot at Fox.
Like he's always that guy.
That's why I ain't do too many records with you, LL.
But LL
I knew you was gonna shot at me too.
But he was the king of that subliminal. Come on, anybody remember the Gap commercial?
And so
Us by us on the low.
Us on the low with a FUBU hat in a Gap commercial running on regular TV. Like I was sitting there, my mouth was watering as a marketer. Like, oh my
still
God.
ain't answer. Does he want that smoke with KRS-One?
He will destroy KRS-One, and I will say that because it was a different
I don't know about
time.
destroy.
He got too many records.
I think
There's just too many records. He's gonna win. He's gonna win. Come on, N.O.R.E, stop playing. Stop. Yo, N.O.R.E, stop doing that.
Stop. LL fan and a KRS fan.
Todd is a different
I'm an LL fan and a Todd fan. I don't know who Todd is.
LL Cool J is a different animal. The man comes with different cloth.
Nah, he got monsters.
There's only one female in the room. So we're gonna ask the one female in the room. Who are you going with? KRS or LL?
Ladies love Cool James.
It's not close.
I'm not gonna ask any guy in the room because there's way too many of us.
It's not even close.
But just remember his DNA.
Yes.
LL's DNA is different.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Did you not see the guy? I forgot my man from the Vibe magazine. He was interviewing LL after. I forgot his name, bro. That's kind of whacked. I forgot his name. But he was interviewing L, and he's like, "Yo, so KRS said that you couldn't survive, and you just seen L put his head down, and like listen, as a person that loves competition, when you put your head down, that's like don't go crazy.
Don't wake the sleeping giant.
Don't go crazy. Say something, but calm down.
Right.
And when L lifted the name up, he was like, he gave that little LL laugh.
That cocky.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I love the culture.
Try me. No disrespect to KRS-One. Come on. Bridge is over. How did you feel with the bridges over?
Leave that guy alone, man.
How did you feel? How did you feel there, N.O.R.E? How did you feel when the Bronx came?
Listen, I'm still mad at the bridges.
It made him a fan of KRS-One?
It made me a fan of KRS-One.
I saw the documentary. I
used to listen to the South Bronx, the bridges over, and Criminal Minded like this. Huh? What listen to? The Gap Band? Like I couldn't tell niggas I listened to KRS at that time. He made killers. Okay, moving on. There's this discrepancy that happens where this guy DMX, and DMX is something happened with Violator. And I believe him and, was it Dave or him and Chris?
It was
I
Chris.
wasn't there at the time.
I was there.
He was there. That's before me. I was still that bad boy.
So shout
suiting it out.
Shout out to Jazz Young. Jazz Young was DMX's marketing person. And Dave Lighty was in Jazz Young's office.
And that's in Jive.
That's 160 Varick Street.
Okay, that's
Def
my
Jam.
favorite place.
Yes,
okay.
Def Jam.
Chung King.
Right. And so Dave Lighty said, so I wasn't there for this part, so I can't really quote what he said. I'm just going to be fair to Dave.
Right.
But as the story goes, Dave Lighty said something referring to DMX drug habits.
Right.
Right? When DMX gets there and he gets the word, all DMX heard was Lighty. He didn't hear Dave Lighty. He didn't hear anything. So Chris now is in Def Jam. He walks around the building like we always do, and he sees DMX and he goes like, yo, what up? And DMX just, just snuffed him.
And Chris blindsided. Chris has no idea. It's not he was blindsided.
He don't understand.
He don't
get if he knows it's coming, it's not gonna happen. Trust me.
Not baby Chris.
Yeah,
So
Chris is not a sucker.
no, he's not a sucker. Please. And so
Rest in peace.
he punched him in his face.
Right.
I can tell you that night, after Chris went to the dentist, after Leo took him to the dentist to get his grill fixed, because
that lawsuit is on them now. Like,
Yeah.
if Chris wanted to do that, so they got to make it right.
We spent the rest of that night running around New York City looking for DMX.
Wow.
Like, it was deep.
Wow,
Like,
that's what I heard.
It was
That's
like
what I
Tip, Q-Tip, all Violators came.
Because people don't know Q-Tip ain't a sucker.
No, Q-Tip is thorough.
People like
is
just
a
because
thorough-
Back to the Rex and the Cuts beat.
In every way.
because he likes essential
In every
oils
way.
don't mean he won't put it on your ass. You know what I'm saying? For real.
That monster over there. There's some energy
Q-Tip,
over here. We
Q-Tip
promote
is
monster.
a thorough dude.
This one's cold.
And-
Here, this one's cold.
And so, yeah, it eventually got talked. Everybody got talked off the ledge, and cooler heads prevailed. But that was a true story. It was, and the part that I didn't respect, and me and DMX is cool, but the part that I didn't respect was it was a sucker punch. He didn't see it coming. He got that one. Chris got a lot of paper off that shit too. He got a lot of paper, but that was a sucker punch. Real tough.
So moving on, what was an artist that that you maybe didn't believe in and it just took off and was like, wow? Like, is there anybody that you was hesitant on believing in and the artist just take off?
I think I've been blessed in my career to choose wisely.
Word?
And I've never thoroughly believed or not believed, you know what I'm saying? Because I had great guidance. When you got an A&R over here and you got Chris over there, like, there was never anybody we doubted.
Never passed on somebody?
We on drink champs, right?
Yeah,
we keep it real. We keep it real.
Not me,
Drink champs.
not
We
me.
keep it real.
I'm gonna tell you what I passed on.
Hold on. We keep it real on drink champs, right,
terrible,
everybody? We keep it real on drink champs. I'm the only one in the building that believed in 50 Cent.
Okay, you saying a lot right now.
You know what?
You came ready. You came ready. Hold on. I ain't hear anybody clap.
I can't. You know what, E? I love you and I respect you. I can't
I like
agree.
this-
I can't agree. You
disagreement.
was the only one because I'll never forget. when Gabi and Nelson had him before we touched him.
There's two different 50 Cents. There's the one before he got shot.
I'm talking about.
How to
Right,
Rob
I'm talking
is
about.
the
Hold
How to Rob
on.
and then-
I'm talking about.
How to
I don't
Rob
know if he was there yet.
How to Rob?
I don't know if he was there yet.
How to Rob? No one was
So
talking
hold on. I don't know if he was there. So How to Rob came, and then 50 Cent got hit up.
Yeah.
Right, he got dropped from Count. I'll tell you a story about how 50 Cent got to Violator. Right? Let me just tell you a story.
I don't know
and
that.
you're gonna appreciate the story too. And I don't think you know the whole story. So I'm in the front and I'm getting a little bit of money, but I'm not really getting money. Me and you both had convertible Lex coupes.
The blue one.
Throw me out.
I had the white one.
You saying you had that and you ain't getting money?
Sit down with that Barbie mobile y'all talking about. That's a Barbie mobile.
I'm
Come on
proud
now.
to
That
some
car was
champagne.
smaller than this
Yeah,
desk
yeah.
right here.
But please, E, keep
Okay,
going. Keep going. I'm into this story.
So I just got. I started getting a little bit of money, but I wasn't like N.O.R.E, but I was getting some money, and so I went to this jeweler in Paramus. Her name is Beth Isaac, right? And I was buying some shit I couldn't even afford.
What's
I
the
was buying
year?
some.
What year is this?
You know what? It was like either 99 or 2000, right?
No, it got to be before that because
Nah.
you're talking about he got hit. Was it 98, 99?
So and then he
98.
disappeared for
Yeah,
a while. Nobody
yeah.
couldn't get in touch with
It
him.
was the Poconos.
And so I go into the jewelry store to buy some diamond earrings from Beth, right? And she had this diamond cross in the window. And I'm like, yo, Beth, what the fuck is that? And she was like, you can't buy that. I was like, why not? She was like, because that's 50 Cent. Fuck the earrings now, fuck the chain. I need 50 Cent. She's like, he ain't fucking with nobody. I was like, no, Beth, listen to me. That's my guy. From studios when he used to write for Sweet Tea when she was making a comeback, and he was he was doing the Ghetto Quran. Like 50 is my dude. Please have him call me. She was like, I was like, yo, listen, all you gotta do is tell him Nicks trying to get in touch with him. Don't do nothing else, right? You don't have to set up no meetings, just say Nicks said, give him a call. So 3 weeks go by, Sha Money called my office. And was like, yo, E, what's up? And I was like, yo,
Shout to Sha, man.
I want to sign 50 Cent. He was like, and now 50 didn't give a fuck about nobody. He didn't know who to trust. He was like, nah.
After he's off Colombia, or
he dropped from Colombia.
Dropped from Colombia.
He got hit up, and now he's in recovery, hiding out somewhere, not knowing who to trust because there's real niggas in the street trying to kill him. So he's like, I'm not fucking with nobody. And I was like, listen, this is what y'all do. Pop up to the office anytime y'all want.
Wasn't the rumor that Chris got him a publishing deal? Okay, that's not.
No.
That's later.
No, let him tell that story. I know where you going with the contract.
So I said, tell you and Fifth, come to Violator anytime y'all want. Don't call me. Don't let me know you coming. Just say you outside, and I will drop whatever I'm doing, and I'll come and deal with you. I'm gonna paint the picture for you. Fifth shows up to Violator on Lexington Ave. The nigga had, nobody was getting no money. Well, he wasn't getting no money. Him and Shaw was fucked up, broke. The nigga had on a snorkel, right? Ran over Tim's. I'm painting a picture. This is not 50 Cent we know now, multi-millionaire. He was fucked up. Ran over Tim's, bulletproof vest, two bangers in his waist, and looking like he was ready for war. Like looking like he was standing on a corner ready for war.
With the burgundy caravan sitting outside.
And I'm trying to tell him, yo, my nigga, your story is solidified now. Everybody in the street knows what's going on. Everybody around the world knows what happened to you. Bro, all we gotta do is now go make the records. That's what I did. Let's go make the records. I go to Chris. Chris is like, nah, I ain't fucking with that. Like, why would I do that? Irvin, them niggas, and at the time, Murder Inc. had the game in a fucking chokehold. Like, Shanti, they had the game in a chokehold. Am I lying?
Yes, they did.
I don't think I've never been this quiet on Drink Champs.
Okay.
Continue. I'm listening
Murder
to
Inc.
everything,
had the game in a chokehold.
Absolutely.
But my job as A&R at Violator is I wanted to compete. When we was in 160 Varick Street, Irv Gotti himself told me, my nigga, always keep the energy in your office. Always have the shit popping. Irv was always a good dude with me until after I signed 50 Cent. Then we wasn't cool no more. I'm keeping it a buck.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. It comes with the game.
No, Chris Gotti kept it real with me. He said, yo,
always.
E, you know
Shout
why?
to Chris.
Chris Gotti said, yo, E, you know why I fuck
Straight
with
up.
you? Because you wasn't trying to get into the beef. You was just trying to do business. So we could leave you out of that. You wasn't trying to enter the beef. You saw an opportunity to sign a hot nigga and you signed them. And that's what I did. That was my job. Well, I wasn't trying to strap up and put on a bulletproof vest and get out in the street and bang it out with niggas. That's not who I was. So I'm keeping a G. So I went to Chris 3 different times. And it wasn't until Chris realized how his mixtape was heating up in the street that Chris said, all right, fuck it, E, you got it, let's do it. And we signed 50 Cent to Violator
Records?
Violator Records. Slash Steve, no. Violator Records.
SRC.
Steph. SRC.
Yes.
Columbia.
Wait a minute. But let me throw a curveball. Let me throw a curveball in that.
And Steve didn't even say this on Drink Champs.
But wait. But let's throw a curveball in that. It was also AMG Michael Ovitz.
Yes.
The agent from Hollywood.
I remember Michael
Ovitz. You know what I'm saying? So there was this whole ecosystem going on that a lot of people didn't understand because Chris was making moves into Hollywood that nobody understood.
We're going to get to that too because
no, we're not going there. I'm just saying that.
We're going to get to that for a second.
There's a lawsuit with that too.
Okay, Jesus. I wasn't ready.
But so he was signed to SRC. No, he signed to Violator, SRC, Columbia.
Yep.
Back at Sony, but through Violator, through our deal with SRC, through
and SRC
Columbia.
had the Columbia deal.
Yes.
At that time, right?
And so we start to make the records. 50 Cent and Shy hop on a plane. Eminem gets a hold of this hot ass mixtape in the street. This mixtape was killing the street. Eminem gets a hold of it. Shy Money and 50 Cent hop on a plane. This is gonna bug you out. You ain't know this story.
Definitely ain't know this story.
Jump on a plane and agree to sign to Aftermath.
But after they signed,
they was already in a deal. Oh shit!
But wait. There was a J Records element to this.
I don't remember.
There was a J Records.
J Records or
there was a J Records. Clive Davis.
Clive Davis.
There was a J Records element. With Todd, when they came back from the trip, because Marshall listened to it on the set of the movie, they went to LA, got that M, they caught that ticket to sign the deal. They came back. We was on 25th Street now. They came back and they went in Todd's office. They went in Todd's office.
That was at Lexington. That was at
Lexington when they went to Todd's office?
When I left Violator, we were still on Lexington.
Okay.
So they came back from the deal. He said 50 Cent Shot Money sitting in my office, in the middle of the office.
But did they get money from this Violator
No, not
deal?
yet. No, they got money for the deal.
We did.
Oh, they got advance and everything. It was signed, sealed, delivered.
That's crazy.
That's why I don't know that one. I can't call
We
that.
had an open budget going to the studio.
Wow.
No. But you gotta understand something. He only had a mixtape in the street. He wasn't 50 Cent hot, right? It wasn't, Go Shorty, your brother. No, it wasn't that yet.
It was 50 Cent's a future.
Right. So he comes back and he goes, yo, Eric, we gotta go to Chris, we gotta get out this deal.
Oh my God.
I don't know what you want me to do. So we go into Todd Moskowitz, now had left Def Jam and became general manager of Violator. It was Tony Yayo. This is gonna fuck you up. This is gonna fuck you up.
You ain't going nowhere.
Go into Yayo, Fifth, Sha, me, Chris, Todd. We in the office. Yo, we gotta get out this deal because Eminem don't want to sign us to Aftermath. Todd looks and goes, I don't give a fuck. That's not happening. Right? Chris is like laughing, like, oh, chill.
The setup.
Right?
We got the setup with Chris Lighty.
The nigga Yayo, this is gonna bug you out. And I swear to God, the nigga Yayo puts his gun on the table. He puts his gun on the table and was like, not pointed at him, puts his gun on the table and says, yo, we gotta get out this deal. The nigga Todd Moskowitz runs out of the office.
Down the stairs.
I don't come to work for guys to be pulling guns out on me. He leaves the office. Todd is my guy. I'm not trying to play you, Todd. I promise you. Just telling the story.
Just the facts, right?
Todd runs out of the office. Yo, I don't come to the studio. I don't come to work for guys to be pulling guns out on me. No, Jewish guy, Jewish lawyer. He ain't about that life, right? Pulls a gun out. The nigga me and Chris in there rolling, laughing our asses off, right? And Chris is so G. And this is why I have so much respect for Chris, because Chris saw the bigger picture. He wasn't being selfish. He saw the bigger picture, like, yo, go blow up with Dr. Dre and them, but the only way I'm letting you out the deal is if I manage you. And that's how he became from Violator Records, SRC, to Violator Management. And then Chris started managing.
But how do you get out of that deal, though?
I mean, there's ways around things. Right. You know what I'm saying? But
we was in control of our situation.
Chris ran everything, but it was
through you guys. It was through your record,
yes.
SRC, then Columbia, right?
And the split management with Sha Money.
Right.
Because that's what a lot of people forget. Sha, as a music guy, was also his manager and also managed the unit.
Shout out to Sha Money.
So I'm saying, so it came like a whole package deal. Because I remember, back to you in the belief of 50, 50 was writing for Puff. It was at Daddy's house.
Whoa.
I'm the vice president of promotions at Bad Boy.
Is that why 50 be going at Puff right now?
I mean, I think there's a lot of different reasons, you know what I'm saying? But 50's just, you know what I'm saying? It's awesome. It's entertainment. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he went at me.
Just to give you the psyche of 50 Cent, 50 Cent thinks he's doing you a favor when he goes at you. He's not looking at it like I'm dissing you to punk you. He's looking at you like, stupid, take advantage of it because all the eyes are going to be on you and now I'm giving you a platform, asshole. Like, take advantage. He's not looking at it like I'm trying to play you.
You're right, Eric. I got you.
That's his psyche. So some people.
For the record, I don't need that type of promotion though.
I'm sure y'all all saw the Instagram going back and forth with Busta and Fifth.
That's where I heard it. I heard, yeah.
Fifth ain't looking at Busta like I'm disrespecting you.
But you notice Busta got in the gym though after that. Look at Busta now.
I almost,
it worked. Jesus Louise, Papa T.
Man,
let me tell you something. Busta ain't had this confidence. He ain't had this glow.
But this album is something else. This album?
He didn't have, listen.
Get ready,
and this is
world.
my friend. And he loves to tell me when I'm fucking up, so I can't wait to tell him. I can't wait, because he's really my friend. I really like but right now, not only he's not fucking up, he has a certain glow to him. He's a certain presence. When I heard the Chris Rock, you can't fuck with Busta Rhymes.
You can't fuck with the God Busta Rhymes.
You can't fuck with the God Busta. I got Busta's number. I wanted to be like, oh, I'm scared. Like I was literally scared. like, yo, this album is crazy. I didn't even hear the rest. I just you came up with Busta. When Chris
is crazy.
Rock is doing that shit is just it's an energy. And then I see him with Black China, and I don't know what they did.
It was a TikTok. It was a TikTok.
But even that, I looked at my friend's confidence, and I was like, he's there. Yeah. That's the Busta Rhymes I know. That's the motherfucker. Put your hands where our eyes can see Busta right there. Like, you know. And I'm telling you, bro. I can't wait. Man. And tonight is a great night. Tonight, Jay-Z is dropping again. Nas' album is dropping. Mm-hmm. What do we feel about this, fellas? This is like the third time Nas announces he's dropping something, and then the big homie drops right after. Does anybody see a coincidence here? Or am I pulling the curtain too much? Am I pulling the curtain too much? No industry answers. And you haven't took a sip of your drink neither. Yeah. Once you ask for it, you gotta go in. Salud.
When Ali and Frazier fight, Ali and Frazier fight. Let it be a great fight.
You're a Brooklyn dude, so I gotta let you ask your Brooklyn side of you. And you're a Brooklyn dude too. I totally forgot. Holy shit, I think you're Puerto Rican.
There's very few Puerto Ricans out of Brooklyn, but you know, we there.
Jay-Z is a chess player, man.
Absolutely.
And to say that he's totally oblivious and this is a coincidence, I would say bullshit. I'd call bullshit on that.
Okay.
Like, just me personally.
Okay.
You know, there's a saying in the music industry, the more albums come out, it's not that people are gonna buy one from the other, it's more traffic in the stores. So when we literally was selling CDs, it wasn't a bad thing that you dropped the same day as your competition.
Oh, you ain't 50 drops.
Because now your fan base is in the stores.
In the store
and the traffic is just heavy. And they gotta go get both albums. Some people only got enough for one album, so they gotta choose, but the traffic is there and everybody's gonna do well. So that was the mindset behind it. But Hove is always going to let everybody know who the fuck he is. For the rest of his life.
Clap for him.
Now?
No, clap for him. Anybody listen to record clap for him? Have you heard clap for him? Of course. Have y'all listened to the lyrics clap for him? Do you really understand what he's saying? No. Yeah. Clap for him.
Clap for him.
I'll pass the baton. Clap for him. Hove is a genius.
Yeah.
Hove is strategic.
And Hove just sons niggas just.
But it's a brand lift.
Y'all answered the question.
It's a brand lift.
Do you think it's like deliberate?
He did answer the question.
No, he did.
Yes, it's called a brand lift.
Okay, I don't know.
There'll be exclusives on Tidal. There'll be a lot of traffic. No, let me finish. Okay. There'll be a lot of traffic. There'll be a lot of visuals. This is all part of the
strategy. It's Pharrell and Jay-Z dropping a single, and Nas is dropping a whole album.
Yes. Why? It's called
if
a
you
brand
go back to
traffic.
they've been doing this shit from Reasonable Doubts to It Was Written. Like, I remember being in the studio with Trackmasters and Steve Stout, and when Hove dropped Reasonable Doubts, Stout and them didn't. I'm a Brooklyn nigga again. Right. Stout and them did not really know who Hove was at that point.
Patrick
in terms
Moxie
of his
did.
talent.
I'm gonna be
Patrick
honest.
Moxie did.
Reasonable Doubt, and this is gonna make me sound crazy, was Hove's intro into the game. At the time, I'm gonna be honest with you, if you were getting money and you was understanding what he was talking about, you got into that album. I wasn't getting money at Reasonable Doubt. I didn't get into Hove. What's the next album after that?
In My Lifetime Volume 1.
My Lifetime Volume 1?
My Lifetime Volume 1.
I started getting a little money. I went back to Reasonable Doubt. I said, oh shit, I slept. Oh shit, I slept.
You couldn't get into Reasonable Doubt?
I didn't understand a lot of that money.
But if you knew,
but if you knew real hustle,
he was talking.
But if you knew real hustle,
I'm talking about when he was getting into that coke talk and certain shit,
sipping Mai Tai with
I didn't know what a Mai Tai was. I didn't know. I didn't know what Cristal. I went to the I bought Cristal.
If you listen,
you bought the Colombian Cristal.
I put it this way: if you not getting money and you listen to Dead Presidents, you like, man, fuck this nigga.
Right.
Like, you like, fuck him.
I don't know. I don't see that. I don't see that.
You know, FN, I'll give you that because you know what? If you really knew Getting Money cats back in those days, like we did, it was a soundtrack to their life. The real Getting Money cats, the cats from Brooklyn, the Kendus, the Phils, the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? The cats Uptown, the Lennies. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? The Wild Cowboys. It was a soundtrack to their life.
But there was two type of hood niggas though. There was niggas that didn't.
I'm talking about the Getting Money cats.
I get you. But there's niggas in the hood that will never want to sell drugs. Like in my hood, there was niggas that never wanted to sell drugs. They just wanted to stick niggas up. And then there's niggas who
Brooklyn keeps on taking it.
Who never wanted to rob niggas and steal. They rather stand on a corner and pitch rocks. And so the niggas on the corner that pitch rocks, Jay-Z was their favorite. The niggas that was hoodied up, going out, going to Midtown to dig pockets, like them niggas didn't give a fuck
about. You said the dudes was on the corners. The dudes that had the dudes on the corner.
Yes. The real gang.
The dudes that had the dudes on the corner. And I'm gonna be honest, I was my own worker. Like I didn't have workers. Like so, I can't relate to like niggas talking about pie, talking about just like just listen. Recently, right, a couple years ago.
Statute of limitations up, N.O.R.E?
No, it's a record called Niggas in Paris, right? I love the record. Yeah. But a friend of mine, he borrows a couple of $100 from me before we get in the club. I give him the money. This nigga's in the club. What's 50 grand to a nigga like me? Can you please remind me? I'm like, it's a lot to you.
Stop fronting.
You better stop fronting. Stop fronting.
But there you go. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Stop
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'm looking at him the whole night. Every big boy lyric, come on. He's like, what? I'm looking like, holy shit. But that's the reason why, like, I didn't want to be that guy. I wanted to, if I fuck with your lyrics, because for instance, it's not that I love Nas more than Jay-Z or anything like that, but I do love Illmatic more than Reasonable Doubt. But when Nas spoke to me, Illmatic, I felt like he was still from Queensbridge.
Right.
Like when Jay spoke to me, I felt like he was from Beverly Hills, that first album, because he was talking about Four Seasons brunch and shit like that. I didn't know what the Four Seasons
telling his true life story.
I didn't know what brunch was.
But he was
like, what the fuck is
but look what he's from. But look what he's from. He's from the hustler.
But you saying I'm doubting him. Listen to what I said. After
he couldn't relate. He couldn't relate.
I couldn't relate. So after my lifetime, I went back and I got some money. So I'm like, I feel like that's Marty.
But there was a whole team of cats that could.
Marty?
You know what I'm saying? Look what it spawned. Look at Block Royal. Right. You know what I'm saying? Look at music
Marty
cats.
In the building, make some noise. If you want to get on love of hip hop, that's how you get on love of hip hop. Holy moly. We set it up? Come on. Oh, wait,
okay, go Marty.
Yeah, you super late, girl. But hold on, and you ended.
Hi, how are you? All right.
Okay, what were we talking about, James? Keep going, baby.
We was talking about, look what he spawned. Look what he spawned. Look what Jay was talking about. He gave cats getting money a blueprint to get out and do music.
Right.
He gave cats getting money the license to use that in another way because, this is our life. He told you his life. You couldn't relate, but you got interested.
Yeah.
You couldn't relate, but you wanted to hear more. You couldn't relate, but you know what he did? And props to Jay and props to Juan and all them cats over at The Rock. You know what he did? He gave us an aspiration.
Yeah.
I want to know what a Mai Tai is. What's a Mai Tai? I want to know what the Four Seasons is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to know what
this shit was definitely cultural.
Something.
It was Four Seasons is so foul, they don't even got a program. So you just stay there, you don't get no points, you don't get shit back.
Use your American Express card. Find a way out.
I would keep it all the way real. One of my first nice cars was the GS Lexus. Remember those?
Yes, come on.
Because you had the 400, you had the green 400.
Yes, come on, man. It's silver and a black. Okay. Yes, I'm sorry.
So again, I wasn't getting that much money, so I had the 300. Right. So when Jay-Z said,
the 5, the 6,
I had to take my shit back and just spend a little bit extra just to shit that I could the whole culture followed that.
Right.
The whole
aspiration.
But
that's what I knew.
4.0.
I definitely knew how powerful Jay-Z. There's 2 incidents when he started wearing platinum, made everybody wear platinum. He started wearing
football jerseys.
Football jerseys. He stopped wearing jerseys and started wearing button-ups.
I'm over 30, button up.
And then I forget what else.
He made a record called Change Clothes, and the whole culture started wearing button-ups, including me.
Killed auto-tune.
Well, he didn't kill it. He definitely
changed after that.
What he did was he stopped everybody from T-Pain from doing it.
He stopped T-Pain.
Yo, T-Pain ain't touched it since. T-Pain
but let's be honest. You know what Jay did on Reasonable Doubt? He gave you aspiration. Like you said with 50. When 50 would come to the office, I'm gonna sell water, I'm gonna sell sneakers, I'm gonna do movies, I'm gonna do video games. He spoke it into existence.
Right.
Fifth was a genius. You had Banks sitting over there falling asleep because Banks don't talk. You had Yayo sitting there being the hype man. You had 50 telling you everything he was gonna do. And then you had Eric doing the records and Dre doing, and then you had Chris saying, all right, let's go get this table. We're gonna take every dime we could get. Like, you know what I'm saying? There are just certain cats that just have this innate
like
energy.
a Master P, like a Cash Money, the same aspirations.
You know what I'm saying? I remember when Baby first walked in Universal. People look at me, Reebok, Violator, Bad Boy. Nah, I was at Universal too. And Baby walked in there with 2 Rolexes on, a gold one and a platinum one, and signed a deal right at the table. They had a movement. They spoke things into existence. These are our heroes in hip hop. People aren't giving them enough credit for the aspirational talk, giving you an opportunity. Like, nah, I ain't got to be a hand-to-hand cat. I ain't got to be on the corner. I can go invest in this. I can go do that. I could do this. I do that. And then vulnerability. Vulnerability, guys. That's the truest form of artistry. Because when you're vulnerable, people can relate to you. That's where we tend to forget that vulnerability as an artist. Yo, N.O.R.E, with the manager Chris and the label The Jams, all right? You were vulnerable. You gave it up to your manager. If it wasn't for him. That's why people connect. So when Jay came with that, a lot of cats ain't noticed. I knew all the big street cats. I knew every one of them from Brooklyn to the Bronx because I played ball, so I was lucky. Wasn't in the street. But when Jay came, he gave them a blueprint.
You play handball?
Nah, baby, I got signed at 16. You better stop that. I'm Puerto Rican. I know the reggaeton artists ain't mess with you, cause you know what I'm saying? I know the reggaeton cats wasn't messing with you, so let's not hit on the baseball.
All right. So, Marty, you just joined us. Come on, let's make some noise.
I thought it was 5 o'clock. My apologies.
No, it's okay. So this is what we did. You know, these are 2 brothers that, you know, behind the scenes that make the artists. And I wanted to introduce you as well. And I wanted, usually on Drink Chaser, I give people an introduction, but today, because I wanted people to know, like, places to go and how to go about it, so I want you to give your own introductions. Just let the people know of certain things you did and been a part of.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I started in Miami, so I was born in Jersey, but I am a Miami native. I started at Slip and Slide Records as an intern. Well, even before that, as an intern, even before that, I think a lot of the Miami people know me as when I was in college, waitressing and working at a comedy club. So I got a lot of my connections. The BBs, the Brian McKinneys, all those guys know me from 18, 19 years old when I was doing that. But got into Slip and Slide with Ted Lucas and, you know, elevated from there.
Lucas.
And honey, Ted Lucas,
It's my guy, man.
freaking legend. So, and from there, I went into management with the label Bossman Management when he signed Jagged Edge to an overall deal. And then from there, just skyrocketed. I ended up meeting Mona.
Mona,
you know, by chance, Mona Scott Young.
Okay. Make some noise for Mona Scott
Yes,
Young.
Mona Scott Young.
Big sister.
And then from there, transitioned from music into television, and I've been a part of the Love and Hip Hop brand since its inception, pretty much.
Now, I'm sorry.
And she works with Slick Rick too, man. That always gets me
Of
hyped.
course,
I always hear about Slick Rick.
Yes, and I've been with Slick
And
Rick
make
for
some
the
noise
past 10
for the
years.
rulers.
Yes.
Now, I love for a lot of people don't know. I really love Love and Hip Hop. Like, everyone laughs at me. I love Love and Hip Hop. I love Marriage Boot Camp. Like, I love all that. Like, I watch it all. But here's the thing that I've never seen. I've never seen a star blow up like Cardi B. Like as opposed to everyone else, like, people kind of, like, when you do Love and Hip Hop, they kind of look at you like you're in a graveyard, like you're a person who had a career. You understand what I'm trying to say? And now this is your way of like boosting it back up.
Right.
But Cardi B was like a person that came, was coming up, was known like the strip clubs or whatever, but then took it to a level that did you think that she could be where she's at right now?
I mean, Cardi had a huge following before we even got her on the show.
Yeah.
She was
Right.
almost at a million followers on Instagram.
On a poll.
But I think Love and Hip Hop helped transition her social media fame to music, because we were there in the beginning and documenting her studio stuff. One of her first videos with Red Cafe. You know, like, we really were there to help showcase that transition into music. And she had a real specific goal. She knew she wanted to come in, do what she had to do, and go on to the next thing in her life. You know, I think some people in reality, not just Love and Hip Hop, stay stuck because the fame and the notoriety and walking around and the money you get quickly from being on reality, people get really stuck in that. So
They
you have to
followers go
understand.
up.
Yeah, you have to understand you have a goal that you need to have when you come into this. Like I'm coming in, I have this in mind, I'm gonna do this for this amount of time, and I'm gonna go on to the next thing. And I think Cardi had a great plan of attack when it came to jumping on Love and Hip Hop.
So there's like rumors sometimes where you guys sign people for 8-year contracts. That couldn't been.
I mean,
true.
everybody's negotiations is different with the networks.
Okay.
You know, the networks are the direct relationship when it comes to negotiating and stuff like that. So everybody's is different.
Okay.
You know, and that goes.
It's not directly through the production company?
The production company, you know, the network is the client, so we're producing the show for them.
Right.
So once it's time to do the show, then the networks have to come in and make those agreements happen.
No, you secretly work for Love and Hip Hop. As much as you
No,
talk
I
about
really do.
N.O.R.E, first off, I will say I commit.
I'm trying out right now. I'm trying out right now. The Spanish version.
No, listen, you know why? Because I feel like the show gets a wrong interpretation. What I mean by that is
Don't do it. We have this back and forth all the time.
Let me finish. I'm gonna tell you why. People come on Drink Champs and they blame me. They be like, "You got me drunk." There's no way I can get you drunk. There's no way that I don't smoke weed. You can't get secondhand weed. I'm just throwing it out there. I've never that secondhand weed shit. I've never really believed it. I've never really believed it. Just light a cigar. But a lot of people will sit down and they'll say to me, "Yo, like I've seen artists say, I've seen Marlon Wayans, Irv Gotti, and people say, yo, you was on that show where you smoke, and then they be like, what? They made me smoke. Or they be like, and it's like, that's not really the truth. The smoke is available. The liquor is available.
Ayo, set up, man. Ayo, set up, man. Ayo, baby Chris. Baby Chris.
This is not.
He definitely got Lamar Odom drunk. That's what I got. Lamar's my guy.
He hit me the other day. He's not that
Lamar Odom over here. But wait, set up, man. But wait. But see, Marty and I have this thing, okay?
We have this thing.
All right, we can talk. We talk to Drink Champs, right?
You gotta say Marty because you said Molly just
No,
now.
I have a different relationship with her. I can take that. We have a different connection, all right? And when I say it that way, because we've had this conversation. We had this conversation recently.
Yes.
So what do you feel about Love and Hip Hop?
I love Mona Scott. I love Mona Me. I love Love and Hip Hop. I love that. I know everybody on the show. What I don't love is when I walk into that corporate boardroom at Google, or I walk into that corporate boardroom at Nike or Reebok, and they think that's all of us. Because we're portraying a certain way of being on the show itself.
Hold on. So let's take this back.
We're gonna have it. I love it.
Let's take this back. You can't sit here and talk about reality television and displaying the reality of someone's life when you guys, because you guys are older than me, let's just be clear, you guys had pushed the envelope of rap for all these years. So the realities of the rappers that come in and talk about the drugs, talking about slob on my dog and fucking bitches, getting money, all this shit was the reality of rappers. Is the reality show without the visuals. So what Love and Hip Hop and other reality shows come in and did is that they give you a visual representation, and it took the woman out of the shadows of a man that's been there for all these years.
I'm gonna agree with her.
See, the difference is we take accountability.
Did you?
Yes, we did.
How long did that take? Until Love and Hip Hop came into play.
You know how long? See, this is Love and Hip Hop right here. Not at all. You know how we took accountability? No, you know how we took accountability? By going in those boardrooms and closing those deals and saying, no, we are educated. We are professional managers. We can speak. Wait. Let me finish. I'll let you speak. I'll let you speak. I'll let you know. Hold on, E. I'll let you speak.
Okay.
We did take accountability because we showed to those corporate boardrooms and closed the types of deals which planted the seeds to allow for other things to come out, like Love and Hip Hop. So we were learning as we went along. We made mistakes. We didn't have a blueprint. Nobody gave us a book. This is how you go do this. But we went out and did it, and we did it with integrity and accountability.
But James, in all reality, they had that opinion of us way before Love and Hip Hop.
I agree. That's what I just said. Though. We took accountability for that and changed that perception.
But the people in the corporate
boardroom.
Oh, wait, I just want to say one thing.
Ain't nobody signing you a $25 million sponsorship deal, man.
Is that ostrich? You running around with an ostrich cigar case?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. If you want to do it the right way. You gonna do it, all right?
Do it talking to me. I'm sorry.
What kind of watch is that?
They've always had that opinion of us from the 80s, right? And you can't single-handedly blame it on Love and Hip
No,
Hop.
nobody's doing that.
I think that
Nobody's doing that.
I don't think that Love and Hip Hop portrays our culture properly.
That's what it is.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
And I think that a lot of it is exaggerated for the drama of TV, which makes it even worse.
Agreed.
Right? But I understand it because the drama is actually taking these kids that were done, finished. Nobody cared about them.
I don't know about that.
And
I don't know about
hold
that.
on.
I get that, but this
Hold on.
okay.
I don't know
Let's
about
finish.
They took, okay, let's take, not Scrappy, but let's take Stevie J, right? He was done.
Okay.
Nobody was paying attention to Stevie. I wasn't calling Stevie J like, let me get a track.
Okay, I respect that,
Right?
but there's also the cases that you can't look over, like a Papoose and Remy Ma. Whereas not only on the show, they're making the show look good.
Like,
That's an answer.
It's not just regular. Like, that's not just regular. I wanted to love my wife more.
I'm with that.
I was like, hold up.
But let me ask you,
I thought I was the most romantic nigga in the world.
Let me ask you a question.
Latin lover. Latin lover. Latin lover.
Everybody loves the train wreck.
Yeah.
Everybody, you cannot turn away from the
So
train
call
wreck.
it Love and Trainwreck, no disrespect.
No,
I'm just saying.
As the woman in this, the only woman, not the woman in this room. Am I the woman in this room?
Shout out to Angie Martinez, another legend. We need a chamber. No, that's my Angie Martinez. No, that's my Angie.
Angie, ven para acá.
Best lawyer in the game.
Wait, let me say something, one thing.
I'll let everybody say something before I go back
one
into
thing.
it.
Wait, James. So this is my only thing. This is what I said before on the show. It's called Love and Hip Hop. Now everybody hears industry and they represent MCs and the artists.
Right.
That's only one element of hip hop. So when I've traveled around the world and I'm talking to people, they're like, I thought hip hop was this culture with turntablists and b-boys and graffiti writers and knowledge of self and all of this. And this is what you guys are saying is hip hop now? That's what I feel is like disrespectful to the culture in that sense. Not as a show.
Right.
It's an amazing show. Right. That's why I'm saying if you call it Love and Hip Hop, that's where I kind of drew the line. Call it Love and Drama, you know?
But when you look at all the reality TV, when you look at all the reality TV, like if you take American Idol and you take the other one where they spin the chair around, like you take all of them, it's not about breaking the artist. It's about ratings for the show.
It's about the person. Okay, so the shows like Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, Marriage Boot Camp, all these different type of shows is the personal slice of people's lives behind the mic. That's what it's about.
Right.
It's a very segmented audience. Now, you said something that I disagree with. You said that these stories are not real. Any of us that have been in this industry for this amount of time know someone personally or have been a part, these four men in the table, of situations like a Love and Hip Hop throughout the 10 years.
Absolutely.
When I say real, when I say
Everybody's
when I say it's not real, when I say it's not real, if I don't fuck with you, right, and I do, but if I don't fuck with you,
Right.
I'm not meeting up with you at some fly restaurant to talk to you about our problems. I just don't fuck with you.
Well, this is the thing is that the
That's
show,
the not real part to
people
me.
don't have, there's no secrets when you get casted. You know the people in your cast.
Of course.
So it's up to you to decide on whether you want to deal. The show is about this specific world,
Like,
these
have you
specific
ever
people
had-
dealing in this
Have you
specific
ever had two
space.
artists that particularly didn't fuck with each other and you guys knew that and still booked both of them?
Absolutely.
There's a casting process.
Okay.
There is a casting
Not only that. Hold on. I'm sorry, Marty.
Yes.
I'm sorry. So Mona Scott happens to be a really good friend of mine.
Right, all of
and
us.
I've helped her put certain people on the show.
Right.
And I've sat in the producer grilling meetings with not Mona, but the producers are trying to find out where the dirt is,
Right.
so that they can get the ratings up, right? So it's instantly thought of like, if you come in and you just squeaky clean and you don't have no problems, you don't have no beef with nobody, you get along with everybody, you're not a good cast member.
But don't we do that in hip hop and now?
Thank you, N.O.R.E. I was about to say because
don't we do that in hip hop?
marketing schemes of beefs that have been caused, i.e. our conversations from a few days.
I got you, but just because we was just going through that with the 50 Cent thing, right? You guys said that you was cool with Irv and all this, and then you said after 50 got shot, and maybe it wasn't a marketing tool for you guys, but when 50 wanted to market that his album cover was 9 shots. I'm sure none of you guys said no.
No, that's not true. So
Okay,
if you rewind back, if you have a relationship with 50, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, when you speak to him, he will tell you how long.
Oh, I don't speak to him. I got a relationship.
Okay. The next time you run into him,
I like to keep it real.
the next time you run into him, he will tell you
Yeah.
how long I fucked with him before I actually got a chance to
Right, no,
sign
I
him.
really, you ain't gotta.
Right? No. Like
you're
so
credible guest. Let's go.
what I'm saying to you is that for me, I don't give a fuck if the story is a train wreck or the story is Chance the Rapper.
Right.
I just want to know that the artist is talented and he can articulate his story properly.
But have you ever seen 24 Hour or have you ever seen 24 Hour or All Access? The thing is, whoever Floyd fights, right? Let's suppose this guy is a burger, or let's suppose this guy is the real deal truth. The thing about it is, you have to describe that opponent to be qualified to fight Floyd that night. So don't we kind of like do that in hip hop? Like, I mean, the thing about it is this, right? I learned from a real person. He said, I don't want my enemy to ever be a sucker. That shit fucked me up. Because he said, you see I ain't trust this guy.
Shout to 50.
You see I ain't trust this guy from the beginning. I was like this. But think about it. If your enemy is a sucker, it also takes away from you.
Right.
Like, I don't want anybody I ever had beef with, I want them to stay up. I be looking at their Instagram, like, stay up, man. Like, don't fall down,
Be a
buddy.
good competitor.
Like, especially if I won.
Right.
Like, so isn't that somewhat what we do in
Hip
hip-hop?
hop is competition. That's how we've all thrived since it started.
Absolutely.
It was built on
Competition.
But let's digress for 1 second, please.
Okay.
I have a real issue with the fact that what you just said was so important. If you're a nobody, if you're from Mars, if you're an alien and you watch that show,
Right.
there's a perception that comes along with that. If you watch Cartel Crew, there's a perception that comes along with that about the Latin states. If you watch Mob Wives, there's a perception that's being portrayed in the environment that's allowing people to
perceive that that's how they all are. So you know what? It's entertainment. Yes, we know it's entertainment. There are social issues that we've grown up with that we identify with on those shows. But not every bad Latin girl is a stripper. Not every, wait, let me finish. Not every Spanish dude, excuse me, not every Spanish dude in the game is a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? But all the content that's being put forth that's representing our culture, most of it has to do with the negative sides of our culture and glorifying
And raising a generation
and raising a generation of individuals growing up on it.
I believe, first off, I believe for these past few years, hip hop has embraced relationships and embraced love, and I think that's reflected on the show. I mean,
I agree with that.
This past season of Love and Hip Hop, there was relationship problems in every single way, and only one had to deal with infidelity. But the reality is that it's still.
But Michael, shouldn't all of hip hop be represented then on the show?
It is.
For it to truly be hip hop.
They got Lil Nas X on
It's
there
very
too.
well. You have.
You talking about MCs or rappers only,
I
man?
mean, like
You
Lil
have
Nas
Remy
X
and
type.
Papoose.
It's evolved. It's evolved. It's evolved.
Yeah, but
It's
let me
evolved.
ask James for a minute. Let me ask
Beautiful
James issue for a minute.
situations.
James, your issue is how they perceive us, but that's their problem. That's hold on. That's their lack of ignorance, right? Hold on. There's no such thing as all, right? Hold on.
Okay.
If you're Hispanic, I'm not going to consider all Hispanics just like you, right? I'm not going to consider all women just like her, right? I'm not going to consider all black dudes just like me. There's different. So because I'm intelligent. And we live in a culture now, and we live in a world, especially with this election coming up, where a lot of people are concerned with all, right? They have this perception of all black people are this way or all white people are this way. And I know white people who say Black Lives Matter. And I know white people who don't understand why we have to say Black Lives Matter. So it's their ignorance that we can't cater to.
Nobody's catering to it. You know what? I'll give it up to you, E, on that, but let's be real. When I'm in those meetings and they want to talk about what's going on with Love and Hip Hop, and they want to talk about what's going on TMZ, what's going on Vlad TV, what's going on with all the social media stuff, that's a perception they have that we have an uphill battle to change. You know what I'm saying? When you got to look at, you go on Netflix right now, show me one Puerto Rican, one Dominican, or one Cuban TV show.
You can't.
Nicky Jams.
Wait, that's a documentary, and it's a scripted,
No, it's not
it's a scripted documentary
it's
by Jesse Terrero. By Jesse Terrero.
I wouldn't call it a documentary. I would call it a scripted series.
Scripted series.
Scripted series.
But wait,
Yes.
but how long did it take? How long did it take to get there?
I'm gonna be honest.
You're naming one?
You are correct.
You're naming one? You're naming one.
Yeah.
How many Mexican drug dealer cartel shows are there?
Escobar. There's
All right?
15,000 Escobar shows.
I can't
100,000
watch
Chapos.
another one. I'm
You're
sick.
right. And Drug Inc.
And
We're mad.
scripted shows.
Yeah.
Scripted shows are all
But that
Mexican.
goes back to when everybody was making Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood and every.
Hold on. You know what I think is missing?
I love this talk.
No, look, this is.
There was a period of time.
No, listen. I think that what's missing, that's been missing forever in hip hop, is just the balance.
Yes.
There's a lack of balance.
Yeah,
We had one.
So he wants a Hispanic love joke. So he wants a Hispanic love joke.
But I get it. No, I don't want to spend loads. No, that's not what I'm saying. Now stop, E. What I'm saying is this. Let's be clear. Don't change my. Don't switch me up. No, I don't want that. You know what I want?
Yo, shots.
You know what I want? I want us.
You taking shots.
Wait, I want us as Latinos to stop acting like guests in our own house.
Absolutely.
We're not guessing hip hop. There's a guy named Charlie Chase.
Yep.
There's a guy named Crazy Legs.
Yep.
There's a guy named Sean Pecas.
Originators.
There's a guy named Renee McLean. There's a lot of individuals. There's an Angie Martinez. There's a DJ Enough. There's a DJ Camilo.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm
Why do you
saying?
feel
There's a
like you're a
man.
guest, though?
No, what I'm saying
Why do you
is.
feel like you're a guest, though?
No, we are guessing hip hop because the perception is we put Latin in front of everything. Latin rapper, Latin X, Latin this.
I think
And they
Pun
just
shot.
Pun did.
But they just started taking away urban. They now
I like
is a
that.
movement to take away urban from black music or black music department.
How do you
or
identify?
whatever.
How do you identify Spanish music now on Billboard chart?
I don't know. How?
Tropical.
No, it's.
And now,
it's
and
changed.
now,
That's
in the
ignorant.
last, exactly. So there's a change happening. What I'm saying is, when we have this conversation, when we talk about hip hop, there are so many different influences that have been here that the perception is that it belongs here in those markets, in those meetings, in those executive rooms. Because I'm in those executive rooms every day, and I've got to hear what the perception is about our community. I've got to hear what the perception is when you listen to a record and who said what, and Cardi did this, and this one said swallow my kids in a 2-seat, but Cardi talking about WAP. Has anybody listened to music over the last 3 years?
Listen, that's the thing about WAP.
But you got it. But hold on, guys. Stop. You can never stop artists from being who they are. I
agree.
support WAP.
I do too.
I support women talking about they wet ass pussy because if that's who she is.
There's nothing wrong with that.
If that's who she is as an individual, but that don't mean that doesn't mean that Marty's gonna sing that.
No,
because that's not who she is.
But you're taking the point down the wrong road. What I'm saying is that we get caught up in the definitions that are given to us based on our culture and our music. We get caught up. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Because we assimilate ourselves.
James,
we assimilate ourselves.
James, listen to me for a second. We don't get caught up in it. The ignorant people who don't understand our culture gets caught up in it.
We get caught up in it.
And that's how they identify us.
Do you understand what I mean by caught up? Do you understand what I mean?
We know the difference.
No, we have to change the perception, so we get caught up in it by changing it.
Why? Why do we gotta change our perception?
Why? Because we're better than what people think.
I don't give a fuck what they think.
Well, that's why you're where you're at in your great music side, and I'm where I'm at in my corner side. I do care. I do care.
I don't give a fuck what they think.
Well, then
I'm not here. Listen, because you know why you in that room? You're in that room because they need something from you.
They need you. That's true.
They're not in that. You're not in that room. You're not in that room because they want you in that room. They're in that room because they're trying to get something from you.
You know what? You know why I'm in
So
that
when
room?
you go in that room and you
know why I'm in that
win,
room?
and that's how come. Hold on, let me say. That's how come I always fuck with Russell Simmons. He said I'm walking in that room with a hoodie and my Adidas on, and I don't give a fuck. I'm never putting on a suit and tie to appease your motherfuckers because this is who I am. And you want to be a part of my culture? I don't give a fuck about being a part of your culture.
But wait a second. You know
and
why?
You gotta respect
but
that.
you know why I'm in the room?
Why?
I'm an owner.
Of course.
I'm an owner.
But
I am an owner. I'm not working for them.
And they want something from you.
No.
Okay.
Can we get Marty a
They
shot?
want to know
Eric
how to
Nixon.
maximize. It's called culture evolution. We evolved the hip hop culture by trial and error. Nobody
tell
had
me
a
a room.
blueprint.
Tell me a room that you've ever been in your life that you didn't deserve to be in.
Nobody said that. I deserve to be in every room. I'm not saying
No.
that. I'm not saying that.
That
That's what he's trying to say.
That you did not earn to be in.
What I'm
Listen to me. In hip hop, in the culture of music, If you don't have a reason to be in that room, you don't get your phone call return. Hold on. This is real. Let's be real about this.
Yeah.
We live in, even amongst our friends and the people who, when we hot, they tell us they love us. Right? When you get ice cold,
that shit.
Nobody's on
when you get ice cold, and you don't have something, and you don't have a reason for them to call, they don't need you at that fucking moment, you gotta call 5 times to get your phone call returned.
You know who's the only person gonna answer? Polar bear toes. You cold as a motherfucker.
Yeah. All right, cool. I'm ice cold. So let me be clear about something. When you're in the rooms, it's because when you're in the room, it's because you deserve, you've earned to be in that room. You have a commodity that they're trying to be in business with to help market their shit. Other than that, you're not in this room.
I think you're living. I think you're speaking about a time that has already passed.
When I'm in, time that's passed. Let's talk about Violator. I'm gonna toss it to you.
I'm talking to you.
Toast to Baby Chris. Shout out Baby Chris. Shout out Baby Chris. Baby Chris.
Hear me for a second. I'm gonna toss it back to you, and you're gonna love this, right? When you did Vitamin Water, shout out to James Cruz for being orchestrated behind 50 Cent and Violator and Chris Lighty. The whole big multi-million-dollar, 100, 200, 300 million, whatever the fuck y'all niggas got for that shit. He was the reason, he was one of the reasons behind it. When you negotiated that deal and you bought Vitamin Water in, if you don't have red hot 50 Cent, and you don't have a reason for them to come and fuck with you, you don't sit in that room, is my point, brother.
But you know what?
I gotta stop you there. I gotta stop you there.
Okay.
Because that's not what happened.
I need to understand.
That's not what happened.
Because we've never heard, let me tell you something. We've heard 50 Cent story, and I hope this is Drink Champs. I hope you understand.
Keeps it real.
That we want the whole story.
I'm gonna give you the whole story, because that's who I am.
Right, so we've heard 50 Cent talk about it. We've even heard Chris Lighty do interviews about it. Not an interview like this, obviously, but we've never heard James Cruz. We, from the industry, I gotta consider myself a person in the industry, and people outside of the industry, this is the first time I heard people saying, they know your name, and they know it was a discrepancy that happened, and that's where I feel like, but I want you to say your part of the story. I want you to say exactly how Vitamin Water came in, because I'm gonna be honest, we in the hood didn't even know what fucking Vitamin Water was. We just said, fuck it, 50's fucking with it, he's Diesel.
100%.
He's Diesel.
We gonna
Vitamin get Diesel too.
Diesel.
All right. From Queens, I was pushing Vitamin Water.
So here's,
I didn't even know when y'all was sending me cases of Vitamin Water.
And your refrigerator.
I had no
refrigerator
idea
that got stolen.
y'all motherfuckers was.
It was the same like when I brought Ciroc.
Yo, he brought me Ciroc. I was like, what is this?
I can tell you the Ciroc story.
Hold on.
But here.
Listen, James. This is very
Drink
powerful
Champs.
moment. Very powerful moment. Yes, and this Drink Champs.
We're in Hamburg, Germany.
Right here.
Hamburg, Germany.
On tour.
Did you just leave Dusseldorf?
No, it was Frankfurt.
Frankfurt, then Hamburg.
Come on, we've been on tour. We've been around the world a few times. Yes, we have.
Yeah.
We're Frankfurt, Germany. Me and Young Buck have a fight. Straight up fight.
Fist fight.
James Cruz is quitting.
Fist fight.
Yes.
You and
Me and Young Buck. Me and Young Buck.
All right.
We have a
That's different.
argument.
I thought it was Lloyd Banks.
I'm gonna give you the whole story. James Cruz, the emotional cat quitting every week. James Cruz going through too much. James Cruz can't take it.
So who was it?
Me and Young Buck. Me and Young Buck. All right. Me and Young Buck.
Okay.
Chris flies out, straighten it all out. 50 says,
hold on, this is a fly shit. He had to fly from New York to Germany?
Yes.
That's hard. I respect that. That's a lot of money right there.
My brother.
The sponsor beef.
Chris Lighty got to call Chicken Little off the ledge because I'm quitting. I can't take it.
Okay.
50 says, yo, I want to sell 50 cent waters. You know how they sell quarter waters in the hood? I want to sell it for 50 cent. Let's find a company to do the quarter water deal and do 50 cent, the bigger ones. You know,
after
you have
the
quarters.
fight, he came over with
Wait
this
a minute, this is 50 just talking. I said the man's a genius. He spoke everything into existence.
Right.
I want to sell 50 cent waters. Chris says, all right. Chris goes back and does the research. Finds a company called Glacial. It was right next to Shea Stadium in Queens.
Jesus.
Has a meeting with Rohan. Rohan says, okay, let's go, let's talk to them. Let's have a conversation. Rohan used to be the head of Coca-Cola.
He come from the movie Zohan.
He could. But this is a man behind Pop Chips and Vita Coco. This is a man that, he's on Shark Tank. All right, that Rohan.
Okay,
all right. So Rohan comes in, they do a presentation. They bring about 30 bottles of water, all different colors. He says, well, this is what we got, guys. 50 goes, vitamin. Y'all want the urban market? Where's the grape?
All right.
Ding, 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 ding. They didn't have grape. So now, there's an opportunity to do business. 50 Cent didn't take no money. 50 Cent didn't take a sponsorship. 50 doubled down and said, 50,000, here you go, I'm investing in my own water. I want 10% of my water. 50 Cent said this.
He only wanted 10% though?
He wanted skin in the game. He wanted 50 Cent investment in Glacier to own 10% of his water. That was the deal on the table.
Why were only 10%? I'm not understanding.
Because Glacier was already a public company.
Oh, 10% of Glacier, you saying?
No, no, it's 10% of his brand, his water. His water. Formula 50.
Oh, just the grape.
Formula 50, just the grape. Where's the grape?
Okay.
Put it down.
All right.
He put skin in the game. He bet on himself, like Khaled says.
Okay. Don't use the term skin because we have dumb fans.
Are we pausing on now? We pausing on skin?
No, just describe the skin.
He's talking to a corporate guy right now. I'm sorry. All right, so he put money in the game.
Okay, wow.
And he owned his own company. He owned his own business. But take the table, James. We're doing the marketing for it. We're gonna do the grassroots, the street teams, the van raps, the Piragua trucks. We're gonna do the commercial. We're gonna do the photo shoots. We're gonna hire Jesse Terrera to do this. We're gonna hire Anthony Mandler to do that. We're gonna take the table. So now we had an artist with money in the game. We had a marketing deal, but we had to sign a deal before a certain amount of time. We lost the opportunity. Now you want the Drink Champ story. Chris is locked up. Chris is in jail. We need to sign the contract by midnight.
Yeah.
We're at Summer Jam. Theo Sotomayor can't get in because they're not giving us no extra passes. They don't know who we bringing in there. This was real time during that beef. You got 20 passes, that's it, ain't no more. Ebro running around, everybody going crazy. Theo Sotomayor stands in the parking lot with the contract, hands it to me. I run in, 50 signs it, run it back, we get it in by 12 o'clock, we got it.
This is the vitamin water contract.
It's Glacier Vitamin Water.
Glacier.
Glacier is the name of the company.
Okay.
You guys know it's vitamin water. And he took that brand and we put it in every video. We put it in every Reebok commercial. We basically did the Beats by Dre initiative before there was a Beats by Dre. Shout to Chris and shout to Fifth. They're the first ones that play stuff. We had a 3-minute commercial running on MTV 12 times a day. That we had Reebok sneakers, we had Vitamin Water Glacier, we had G-Unit clothing. We used their platforms to maintain and sell our products. And then Coca-Cola said, okay guys, let's buy it. Now let's pay you for this.
So Coca-Cola came and bought Glacier.
Yes.
So 50 only owns, but 50
He
only
has shares.
owns.
He had shares.
They bought it for $4 billion.
That's the part you skipped
Bought it
over.
for $4 billion.
So he
10%.
several million.
Basically, it's because we're on Drink Champs, and rather than confuse people, he had shares which roughly equated to 10% of his own brand. Okay? You get it?
Only his own brand, or he didn't have nothing in Glacier?
His own brand.
Just his own brand.
His own
But they were
brand.
buying everything.
They buying everything.
But it's still equated to, 9 figures.
It's still equated to numbers that we can't fathom because it's still going.
People are still buying it.
People are still buying vitamin water. People are still buying smart
Somebody's
water.
still sending me
So
vitamin
is it
water.
royalty on top of it?
I don't know where it's coming
I don't
from.
have
I'm
the
like,
intimate
to my
details of
motherfucking
the
PO
deal.
box. So like, fucking
However,
hey, 6 months, I
50
figured it
and
out.
Chris were geniuses, and there's still money being made through a deal that was astronomical from an equity standpoint because we were endorsers. It wasn't cool to be endorsed. Popcorn Chicken, when MC Hammer did Popcorn Chicken, everybody was shitting on him.
Yeah,
Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. Blige, nobody, it wasn't cool. You was a sellout. I don't know any marketing strategy after 2001 that did not have a corporate brand structure involved with it. It didn't exist beforehand. Shout to Chris Lighty, shout to Busta Rhymes Mountain Dew, shout to Missy Elliott Adidas, shout to all the things that the seeds were planted by Violator. Because it didn't exist, it wasn't all right.
But let's just let's just stay on this deal for a second. So, and I'm going for pure rumor. Not the fact that I know you and I consider you my family and I consider you my friend and I consider everything, everybody involved with this is my family and friend. But there was rumors that this deal went down and the person that was sour or that was
Yeah, I got fucked. I got screwed. You know why? I didn't have paperwork. So every artist is
you
out
signed
there.
my paperwork when you came in?
Yeah, I signed your paperwork. But you know what? You know what? God is great. Because
what you mean by
it wasn't my time.
But what you mean by that?
I didn't get none of the money. I didn't get none of the money on the sale. But that's okay.
Okay, but no, because this is because hold on, time out. You the guy who founded Germany Goose, right?
No, Chris found it. Chris found
Okay.
it. We executed the deal and executed the promotion and marketing of the brand initiative. That's what we did. I didn't deserve it. I thought I had too much equity. At that time, I didn't deserve what I thought I deserved then because I didn't put in the work that I thought I put in. My perception was different.
Answer?
No, that's me.
Okay.
You know why?
It feels political.
No, it's not
Hey,
political.
I left Violator because I didn't get what I deserved.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that didn't feel political.
Either.
That wasn't political.
No, he's straightforward with it right now.
I created the Violator compilation albums.
He did.
It was my idea.
And I'll
You know
co-sign
what
that.
I was about to say?
I'll co-sign that.
Because I want to get back. When I get back, let me come back to you. When I get back, I want to say how the music, right? When I get back. But I just want to get this out of you.
Yeah, I was salty.
Listen. Huh?
Yeah, I was salty.
Okay, that's what I meant.
Can I be very honest?
Yes.
My mind was fucked up.
100%.
I was on drugs. I was a straight alcoholic.
What drugs?
Let's keep it 100.
What drugs you was on?
Yo, man, I sniffed houses.
Shout out to sobriety. Shout out to sobriety.
I sniffed houses.
We celebrate
N.O.R.E.
We celebrate sobriety.
Yo.
We celebrate sobriety, but let's be clear. We love cocaine stories and drinks.
I got a lot of those. Listen, 100. Yes, I was in the wrong place of mind. I was in the wrong spirit. I was all over the
Because
place.
I heard this about you one time, but I'm gonna be honest, James, and I'm not saying this because you in my face trying to like make you feel better. I've never seen you in that type of state. So, So when like I don't want to say.
Nah, he hit it well.
Okay,
I knew it because I worked
The
on
whole
it every
world
day.
knew it. The whole world knew it. I'm the only one that didn't know
I ran into him on a plane one day. We was flying to LA, just randomly ran into it, and I was like, damn, that nigga James fucked up.
Yeah.
But I knew it, but he hit it well. It wasn't like he was
Yo,
stumbling.
N.O., you want to dig? Yo, N.O., you want to dig?
No, I never.
No, let's dig. Let's dig.
Okay.
There was a lot going on during that time that some of us didn't have the emotional tools to deal with. Talking about shootouts, talking about life threats. You talking about FBI vans sitting on your block at your crib. You got to talk about niggas following your wife home. Come on, man. Like, it wasn't, and I'm not using that as an excuse or a crutch.
That's real.
I wasn't emotionally ready to deal with that. You know what? I got to eat that one. But thank God, by the grace of God and Los Santos, I'm here.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No, but I just want. I don't want you to describe to this deal. Only reason I want you to describe this deal because I want somebody else who can be in your position that can say, you know what? What did you feel like you could have did better in that deal? Because
sign the paperwork. That's the only
was the
thing.
paperwork offered to you?
Never.
Never.
I never asked for it.
That's not how we rocked the Violator.
Right. It was a handshake.
Like how we rocked the Violator. We just got in when we fit in. And we just always
It's a
knew
company
that Chris,
movement, not individuals
hold
in the company.
on the flip side of it, right? Chris took care of us all.
Crazy.
Right? Even like Chris paid us well when we didn't deserve to be paid well.
Chris paid us when he didn't have money and he was going broke to keep the lights on.
100%. Like Chris literally was like, I remember one time he walked into my office and he was like, Black Hawk down. And I knew what that meant. Like shit is fucked up. But you would never know it because we always got our paychecks. We always kept the shit moving. The lights was on. Shit was moving. It was Violator. But there was a period of time at Violator when all the artists on the label, Busta Rhymes, LL Cool J, a 3-year period where nobody was touring. So that means no guap was coming in.
Oh, I remember.
You remember? Mike Lighty had to move. Mike didn't have to move.
There was no paper coming in, but he still kept shelling it out.
But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
I'm sorry to change up the subject. The other day, came across some transcripts. Somebody sends me some shit about a case in hip hop, and then when I look at this one case in hip hop, it transfers to 3 and 6, 7 other cases. So it brings me this case about Jimmy Henchman. And I remember we had an office. I say we because I'm Violator. And then Jimmy Henchman had an office across the street.
40-40.
40-40.
I was going by there.
40-40 was down the block.
25th Street.
25th Street. So I'm reading this thing and I felt terrible because at the time, I didn't know how serious this was.
No, it was real.
And I'm gonna explain. Somebody don't want me to talk?
Yo, what in the fuck?
That might be a sign not to go down. That might be a sign not
N.O.R.E, you do not want to go to cases.
So you have to.
All right, Bob Clean ain't here no more.
No, I know.
All right, N.O.R.E.
I'll be honest. I didn't understand what I was involved. Like, hear me out. I'm just being honest. It's all 7 years. This is 20. We're talking about 15 years ago, right? But I didn't understand because, and I'm gonna be honest with you. This is 1,000,000%. For lack of a better term, every time Jimmy and them see me, they act like they didn't even know I was Violator, bro. They would be like, yo, what's up, buddy?
Same with me.
Same with me. You not. They be like, yo, what's up, buddy? And I'm looking like I'm expecting this energy. So I'm on guard, and they're peeping that I'm on guard, and they're making me feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, this would be literally me walking from Violator to 4040, and then meeting me in the middle, because their shit was in the middle across the street. And they would just walk off, knowing I'm coming from Violator. So when people told me it was friction and shit like that, I ain't gonna lie, I'm so sorry. I thought people was exaggerating. I was like, the niggas is alright.
Try living in the middle of that tornado for 5 years.
I didn't
5 years
until I read and listened to this transcript. I actually didn't know. I was like, oh shit, I was totally wrong.
The part that I felt bad was that obviously I'm Violator for life.
Right.
But I understood Jimmy.
Love.
But I understood Jimmy.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, you gotta understand, it wasn't just that. Let's not focus on Jimmy. It was all angles of all over the place. Yeah, Jimmy was that case you talk about, but there was over here and there was over there, and you ain't know from over here. So anybody with any sense of semblance in the street would be like, oh, here's an opportunity for me to get in, because they don't know where it's coming from. Let's be real. Let's go back to the street for a minute.
I'm gonna be honest, James. Let me just tell you something. Violator was my hangout. I loved going to Violator.
That brown weed you used to smoke.
But
dirty ass weed.
Was a shift.
Dirty ass weed you had.
It was a shift. And there was a time where Missy was the shit, and you knew where Missy was at. This is Missy's month. Relax.
Yes.
Come and just see the weed man. Relax. It's Missy's month. There was a time when it's Busta's month. It's Busta's month. It's LL month. But there was a difference when 50 came. 50 had 6 months at a time.
He had a year at a time. A year at a time. No, it was
He was like, and that's what kind of changed Violator, because a lot of people say it was the shootout, not the shootout, or the shooting on 25th
Which one?
Street. The one on 25th Street.
Which
They ran
one?
into the office and shot in the building.
Which one?
I thought
there was multiple.
Oh shit! All right.
But they wasn't really. I mean, but they
No, there was.
Really,
There
like,
was.
Hold on. But they wasn't trying to hit nobody. It was just like
They were trying to scare you up. It was windows. It was cars.
Window car.
Yeah.
Busta told me it was his car.
It was his Rolls Royce.
Yeah, Busta told me
It was his Phantom, one of the first Phantoms on the street at that.
Jesus, yeah, Busta been getting a lot of money.
Yeah, Buzz been getting. Buzz was the car man. Yo, we gotta give it up for Buzz. He had the two Lamborghinis, Sunset and Peppermint. He had the Hummer before it came out. He had the Sanford and Son truck. This man had cars. Shout out to Will Castro and Unique Auto. Will Castro changed the game. The first original.
Will Castro, what's up, my brother?
Yeah, Will Castro. He was the original. On TV.
I'm trying to get a sprinter from you right now.
No, but why do we all get him? Busta, one time, let me keep 100. Busta, yes, Busta, I'm gonna say it. Busta spent $1 million to win the Funk Flex car show. Bought 6 cars
100%.
to go up there to win the
100%.
Funk Flex car show.
100%.
And we got there, and Baby had every red car in the game, and then Wyclef comes with the McLaren and the Bigfoot truck. I ain't never seen Busta feel that face. You know, but that was the game back then. The jewelry and the cars.
Yo, Busta might have spent the most money I've ever seen on a video shoot, any video shoot.
Janet Jackson?
I didn't go to the Janet Jackson video shoot, but you know, my taste buds was there in my mind because I was just looking.
That was the highlight video.
Yeah.
I was just looking.
Shout to Sylvia Rome. Shout to Sylvia.
I was like, that's $100,000 right there.
But keep it real with you. Janet Jackson video was dope because Janet Jackson was on set. But put your hands where your eyes can see.
That was
a monster.
Was different.
Yo, let me keep 100. Put your hands where my eyes can see is my wedding song.
Yeah.
That's my. We
that
walked
video.
in. That video that would change everything. That was 1998.
It was just Bust and his whole
97.
creative mind and coming to America and that whole
so dope.
to be on set and to see Hype shoot that shit, he was like, this is some other.
But you remember, N.O.R.E, the budgets was crazy then. You had Victory. Puff was. Listen, man. Listen. That Puff had it.
Don't forget
Puff
the
had it on
compilation
lock.
album. He was gonna go back to the compilation album.
We come back to compilation album.
Puff had it on lock.
You just threw it to Puff. So now, I have to ask, because you brought up the stories. So did you start doing cocaine around Puff?
My man, listen. I've been doing cocaine since I was 15 years old, N.O.R.E. Ain't about nobody, ain't nobody's other story, N.O.R.E. We're not going there. Me and you have been in situations that we might not want to speak on.
No, I just
Okay, so I'm going back right now, N.O.R.E.
Talk about it, James.
I don't see cocaine.
Remember. All right, so let's just let sleeping dogs lie.
I'm great.
All right, then. All right, all right, murder unit. All right. Wait, let's remember whose records got played on Hot 97. Let's remember whose records got back on Hot 97.
Yeah, and they banned me. This is very true. Yeah, we go into that as well, James. We're going to that as well.
We're not going there.
No,
You don't want that
We're
one.
going to go to the nice version.
Okay. All right. I thought it was Drink Champs.
Yeah, we're going to Drink Champs.
So nice version.
Yeah, the nice version of
Not
Drink
the
Champs. It's still Drink Champs.
Oh, okay.
But so it wasn't like that environment, because I'm just trying to figure it out. Because I heard you say the shiny suit thing earlier.
Yeah. Shiny suit meant success in dancing and being who we were. We were
cocaine
dance.
involved in shiny suits?
There was no
Okay.
drugs involved during that time.
No?
You know why? Because the high was them record sales. When you saw you debuting, staying at number one, when you had 5 records in the top 10 from one record label, when you had Puff on fire.
Was you there when the Locks wanted to go?
No, I had left already. I was
You
a
left
Violator
you
by
said
that time.
Violator?
I was a Violator.
How
by
did you
that time.
feel about that situation?
I mean, I really didn't care. I was so focused on. I had baby Chris next to me. I mean, I was birthed by Puff, raised by Lighty, groomed by the game. Like, I'm not looking back. When you racing, when you a horse, you got blinders on. I'm not looking side to side, my nigga. I'm looking straight forward.
Talk that shit, Jay.
Let's go get this bread. Let's take the table.
Talk that shit.
And the company was definitely. I remember the day James started. The company had different energy when James started.
It was a different.
And what year did you come to Violator?
Oh God! I started Violator, so I came with Foxy Brown.
Yeah, he was originator.
Yeah, I came with Foxy
Mid
Brown.
90s at least, no?
97.
97, damn.
I came to Violator.
I came
97.
98.
I know I don't look that old.
No. I came in 98. So you was there the year before. What year you came?
I got there in 99, late 99.
Okay. Oh, so I was a year there before you. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you got there before me.
Yeah, I got there. Wait, when Eric gave.
When you invited these two to come on.
Hold on. I need Eric to tell this story, because I will never forget the day Who Kid and Pun.
I don't know why you want to go there.
I'm going there because I'm giving my man props. You want to talk about a mediator? You want to talk about somebody that can make things smooth over? You want to talk, like I sat there and I'm fresh at Violator. We just left Jimmy's Bronx Cafe and I got the champagne bottle upside the head 2 weeks in the game. When I saw Eric Nicks sit there and handle that, like a true, like an Avon. He should be Eric Nicks Avon.
Let's take it there. I need another shot. Let's go.
I had an intern.
Bless you.
I had an intern who was hustling in my office, right? And not like drugs, but
not drugs.
Hustling.
No,
exclusives.
Hustling exclusives. So again, Irv Gotti always told me. Irv Gotti and Leo always told me to keep a hot. No matter what you do. Every time I walk into your office, Eric, this came from Lior, you better have a hot record in your hand. I don't give a fuck. So my job was always keep a hot, my job as an A&R was to always keep a hot record. Fast forward to Lexington Avenue. I had, and God bless the dead, this intern is not alive anymore. He sold an exclusive that I think it was Pun and Busta was on, that my intern took from my desk and
just in case you want to take a little shot. It's a little shot.
And gave it and sold it to Who Kid for like $150 or some shit like that. Because you know at the time when all the mixtape DJs, like their survival was
exclusive.
I have a record that Flex, Clue,
she wanted
Capri,
to
none of them have.
Yeah.
I have this record on my mixtape that nobody has.
Yep.
So he sold it, and Who Kid.
Take a shot, man.
And I'm gonna keep it real with you. And I almost got into beef with Fat Joe and them about this.
Oh,
but Who Kid.
Happy birthday to Joe.
Happy birthday, come on.
Happy birthday,
Salud.
Fat Joe.
Salud.
Happy birthday,
Take a
Joe.
shot. Take a shot. Take a shot.
Joe.
You got take a shot. Come on. This is for Chris. This is for Chris.
So
that's watermelon. Ain't that
Who
nice?
Kid? Yeah, that's
Ain't that
just
nice?
great.
Watermelon Ciroc. It's the best vodka on the earth. Come on, everybody.
Yeah! And you didn't want to take it when I would give it to you.
Get some vitamin
No,
water.
that's regular. Vitamin water? We don't got no vitamin water.
in the
James. Vitamin water and Ciroc. That's more for you.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm sorry. You go.
So Who Kid says, Fat Joe and Pun and them catch Who Kid in Miami, and Macho him Who Kid up, and that was the start of the 50 Cent Fat Joe kind of controversy.
I'm gonna stop you there.
Okay.
You're wrong.
Okay.
That was at my video shoot.
Yes, it was at your video shoot.
Where's that at?
In the van.
In Miami?
In the van.
In Miami.
Yeah.
Right. That's
All right, N.O.R.E.
It's in Miami.
I know Miami.
So sorry, you're not wrong.
Okay.
You just forgot a part
Okay,
of the
your video shoot.
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
We're great people over here, man. We love Who Kid.
Who Kid is my guy. Who Kid is my guy.
Listen, I seen Who Kid eat pork one day, and I walked in the Who Kid room. I'm like, yo, you in the God Wise room? He said, what? I said, you eating pork? He said, yo, I'm from Haiti. I eat dogs. I said, holy moly guacamole. I swear to God, he said this. We have this document.
Don't put that on Haitian,
my Haitian friend over there. He's looking over there. Listen, this is what Who Kid said.
Haitian listenership right now.
This is what Who Kid said.
They're gonna put some voodoo on your ass.
He
They'll put some voodoo on your
He said, don't drink, Chad.
No, not a drink chance.
We're gonna confirm it right now, just in case he
Were you gonna call him about the
We're gonna call him because let's see.
If Eves answers that phone, I'll be shocked.
Who can you call? Listen, I have a segment in this show called "Who Can You Call." Listen, I'm starting out with Who Kid. It's not very heavy, but let's just see.
So
let's
don't
just see.
slap
Let's just see. He's my friend.
Who Kid is doing his thing right now.
He's always doing his thing.
He's been doing his thing. But he's in white America. You know who he is?
He's in white America.
He's gonna be like the new Benny Hill, like my man Diego. He's like Benny Hill. You know, they be finger popping a lot. I'm sorry, I said that loud. Like I shouldn't have said that. Right? I should have cut you. I'm just.
All right, Who Kid ain't answers? Let's get to it. So back to this time in hip hop when it was from all angles. It was beef everywhere.
Yes.
It was you didn't know where it was coming from.
Yes.
Eric's bedside manner, pause, handling shit. Chris running, getting bread. There's this quote in hip hop that I can't stand. It's called "Get the bag." What is that? Who wants a bag? You know what I like? Beep, beep, beep. Back
Brinks
that
truck?
Brinks truck into my.
Okay.
Oh, this get the bag? Yo, y'all get the bag. You can have the bag. Let's go get the Brinks truck. That was Chris's concept. Chris's concept, 360. First 360 deal. Anybody know who that was? His name was Notorious B.I.G.
No way.
Production, management, label,
merchandising,
label.
publishing,
Wait,
publishing.
James Cruz, you gotta be careful what you say.
No. I'm saying this. Production, label, management.
But also publishing and merchandising.
That side I can't.
That would be the 360.
That's it. But that's a side.
That's a 580.
No.
But math are you doing? But let's know. But what am I getting at? But wait. But what am I getting at?
You add the other two things.
But what am I getting at?
The three biggest parts of just
Yeah.
three biggest parts of the income revenue for an artist is merchandising, touring, and publishing.
Right. So now, what am I getting at? Chris Genius, managers, we own the game. We walked into the labels and said, yo, we need X amount, and we're doing the independent marketing, and on top of that, you're handing us the budget, we're gonna make the album.
No doubt.
And while we're at it, we're gonna hire the video directors, and we're gonna write directors.
Have you ever managed an artist after you left Puff, with Puff? Like manage an artist?
Yes. I mean, I'm gonna tell you a story.
Who,
I'm the president of SRC.
Who?
I'm the president of SRC at the time with Steve Rifkin running the marketing company. Gabi's the president of the record label. Shout out to Gabi Acevedo.
Shout out to Gabi.
You know what I'm saying? So, Puff calls me up and says, yo, James, let's start a management company. I go, huh? He goes, yeah. I said, nah, I'm good over here with Steve. No. Well, all right, Puff, who's the clients? Me, Cassie. I'm all right over here, Puff. No. Rick Ross and Nicki Minaj. That was the start.
I remember that.
That was the start.
Oh, I remember that.
That was the start of Bad Boy Management.
Let's keep it real.
No, well, Nicki did not fire me as per se. She fired the management company.
Okay, and
so it wasn't anything personal. It was Bad Boy Management.
That was all. I would love to get fired by Nicki Minaj like that. All right. Nicki Minaj, that's all. Put that shit in my bio. Link to my bio, nigga. That's all.
So, but then there were conversations. But there were conversations. There was this guy named Abel that shout to Sal that we were going to work on together. There's another dude named Travis Scott that was writing for Puff that we were going to work with. There was a couple of producers. It was really building a management company. Difference was Puff needs a company behind him. Okay, let's be real. And on top of that, at that time, Chris was my arch nemesis. We couldn't be in the same.
After you left Chris.
After I left Chris, he was my arch
After the Vitamin War.
Yeah, because we were managing Puff. We were co-managing Puff. Remember, Puff was Violator.
How much do you technically get off the Vitamin Water deal? Or you don't want to?
I mean, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Like this Drink Champ, you got to keep it 100. I don't want to say the wrong numbers.
But it wasn't like 40 million, right?
It was a six-figure deal.
All right,
it was a six-figure deal. Six-figure deal.
I don't know what 6 figures is on top.
Put the zeros together.
Okay, all right.
So
fifth?
Who for fifth?
No,
not for me. Not for me.
No, I'm asking for you.
Oh, for me, a Vitamin Water deal probably worth 4 or 5 mil.
You got 4 or 5 mil?
No, I would have.
Oh,
would have.
What you got?
Would have. No, you don't do that. No, it ain't gonna work. No, the Jedi mind trick ain't gonna work. The Jedi mind trick.
I thought it was obvious already.
Why do you think he left? I'm asking.
Jedi mind trick. Jedi mind trick doesn't work. All right. So now.
I didn't know it was a secret.
Let's have a real conversation.
Okay, my bad.
Chris and I became arch nemesis. We couldn't be in the same room together.
I didn't know this though.
And
That's why I don't
let's
know.
keep it 100.
So does that answer your question? How much money he got?
No, it doesn't. But it doesn't seem
imagine,
good.
right?
Yeah, go ahead.
But it was but wait. It was management as well as having our own equity, as well as having the marketing. So we're adding things together.
Right.
So now me and Chris can't talk. We can't be in the same room together. My 40th birthday comes up. What does my wife do? Love you, Lee Marie. Sends a blast to everybody on my email list. Chris gets a blast to come to my 40th birthday. God's plan.
God's plan.
You know what Chris says to me at that party? Yo, James, let's put Batman and Robin back together. You know what I say to Chris? This time I'm Batman and you're Robin. Chris said, let's do it. Clap for Chris.
Okay.
Because he was willing to allow the master, allow the student to take the lead at that point. That's called leadership. That's called being a real executive. That you're not afraid to let your student become the master. That's the beauty of Chris Lighty.
Why did you feel that? Why did you want that?
You know, I wanted that because I knew that for my own personal egotistical issues that I needed to be that. You know, we gotta do that, pay it forward. Listen, I can't tell you, I got every Rolex. I traveled around the world 7 times. I've been everywhere, drove every car you can imagine. But I gotta pay it forward to the next generation. I gotta give it to the next generation. Make the mistake. It's okay, learn from my mistake. I fucked up, y'all.
James did that, so hopefully you don't have to go through that.
Learn from my mistake. But that's the beauty, because Chris learned from the mistake. Because when D-Nice, shout out to D-Nice, man.
Big up my brother.
D-Nice sat me down, had a cigar with me and said, before Chris passed, he said one of his biggest mistakes in this game was letting me go.
I see that.
Wow.
That's Chris's words. I'm quoting D-Nice. But that's not about me. That's about the student becoming the master. Eric was a student. Eric became the master. He made records that nobody else could make. LL's #1. Put that on my resume.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? LL #1. But at the time, it was so crazy. Let's talk, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's happening now in hip-hop, it was real. This wasn't a WWF when we was in there. It became a WWF after. It was real. But we have to pay it forward to our next generation so they don't make the same mistakes. Because we assimilated ourselves to a certain extent, but now we're owners and we're in those rooms for a reason. Come on, N.O.R.E, look at your deals. CBS. Yeah, Oh, now you don't want to talk about it, but you want to talk about cocaine and shit. Let's go. Let's get to it.
Hold on.
So no, I love Violator for similar reasons. Like I created Violator 1, multi-platinum.
Okay, no, let's start it.
The compilations, yeah.
Okay. You're sitting around, you're looking at all the artists you have, and you say, why the fuck we don't have a Chronic? Because that's what Violator was.
Exactly.
Like
that was exactly what I did.
Flex mixtape.
That was just technically kinetically getting your mind.
Exactly.
And
it wasn't Chronic, but it was like, so okay, I was more Violator Records.
That's hard.
Than I was Violator Management.
Right.
And
that's why every time I called you, you knew every producer in the world. I was like, I ever call this nigga, I'll just be testing Eric. Like,
you understand the DJ sitting in I fucked up with you too. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Because the record with you and Styles P should have been a single.
Yeah, man.
I fucked that up.
I've been trying to, hold on, by the way, let me just keep it going. I've been trying to pick a bone with you forever.
I know.
Because of that. Because you know why? He didn't let me hear Styles P verse first. Like, I'm Violator. He's supposed to send me his shit verse.
But he laid yours already.
I laid mine already and I let it go.
I ain't gonna lie to you. DMX had a similar problem with me too, because when I got DMX on a Busta Rhymes record,
right.
and then Jay-Z laid his verse after DMX, X wasn't happy about that.
Yeah, you're supposed to tell me, bro.
He wasn't happy about that.
And that's the crazy shit. A lot of people don't know come through. All right, let me just describe this shit. Every nigga hit me, because listen, every nigga hit me and said, he's always been like A&R. Like, he's always been like the music guy. Like, when it's music, so I go to the joint, he got a check from me. I'm like, what? I don't get checks from Violator? Like not from my own man. He's like, no, this is we good. Just take this. And I laid the joint.
That beat was hard too.
That beat was
That
hard.
beat is crazy.
Self-service.
That beat was
But
crazy.
I'm thinking like, yo, I'm coming back. But he's like, no, just take it. I'm like, yo, let me finish the joint. He like, no. He had a different vision. But it was his vision. So he put Styles on there. And this is another funny shit that you don't remember. I go to Violator office today. This is the day, I think it was just on Sony. So Styles didn't want his money.
He wanted his flat screen TV.
Yeah.
He wanted his flat screen TV.
I walked through the office, this nigga got this is a flat screen TVs first. Yo, these was 30 grand.
Off your budget? Off your budget? Off his budget? Off your budget?
No, it's not my Violator budget. But I'm like, I could have did that.
Yeah.
I was like,
He wanted flat screen TVs.
I want so much problems with Violator office, but Styles is there. And I'm like, I can't do that in front of the family. Just wait till this nigga leave. And he won't leave. He just there, just smoking. But that was the first time I ever seen a flat screen.
He tried to get away with paying taxes.
Damn, I love that you know that.
He tried to get away with paying for taxes.
He didn't want it.
But Chris was like, have him sign a letter of direction, and he still had to pay the fucking taxes.
And because that's because Chris was on Sony.
No doubt.
It was the whole Sony shit. And I had no idea. And listen to me. I went home and I was like, yo, I gotta do another verse. For somebody, this is my new shit. This is my new shit. Like, I'm not telling them to give me a check. I'm just telling them to cop me something. And then I thought I was avoiding taxes too. I was also wrong.
Yes.
I paid for that
No
as well.
doubt.
I paid for that as well. But holy moly guacamole, man. Let's make some noise for us, man.
Yo, but I ain't gonna lie to you. Yo, one of the biggest mistakes I made was not making that shit a single.
What, come through?
Yo, you'd have still been torn up for that record.
Yeah, man.
Yo,
That was a fucking
I'm gonna be
record.
honest. Let me tell
That
you
was a
something.
Yo,
Let me tell you something about that record. Hold on. Let me tell you something about that record. Me and Styles to this day, like I'm talking about, this is like 2, 3, 4 years ago. We have shows together, and he'll come out to that record.
That's crazy.
I don't even have the instrumental.
That beat is
I be
crazy.
trying to snuff Styles. I'll be like, yo, how the fuck you got I'm a Violator, bro. He's like, N.O.R.E, just text me. I'll send you the instrumental. And I've never had the instrumental in my life,
crazy.
bro.
That's crazy.
In my life. And that I ain't gonna lie, that record right there made me and Styles like this.
No
and
doubt.
we didn't lay it together. Remember,
I know.
I laid it with you. I left, and you had a crazy mind.
But I was
like,
late for the studio, which is why you said when you said that in the chorus. Nicks, where you at?
Where
nigga?
you at? That's right. I ain't gonna lie. Now, I'm gonna keep it with you for a moment. When it came time from N.O.R.E to Melvin Flint to all these people, like I remember it was Missy. I remember even me hitting Chris Lighty, saying, "Yo, I want to do Missy," and Chris saying to me, "Yo, you know, Missy is all about whatever," and you was the one who called Mona. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember this.
I remember.
You called Mona and then hooked me up with Missy. But every time it was something music related, and then you moved on to Trackmasters, or do I have it backwards? Was you with Trackmasters prior to that?
No, so I went to Trackmasters after I left Violator.
Okay, that's what I mean.
I left Violator for a simple reason that when I created the first Violator compilation album, it went platinum. Chris did a huge deal with Sony SRC, and then turned around and did a deal with AMG for Wild Bread, and bought me an 18-karat gold on I still have this watch. I never wore this watch in my life. It sits in my safe and I can't wear it. He bought me a watch, 18-karat gold Rolex Daytona on a leather band, crocodile leather band. Shit is crazy. But
let's talk about this watch later. Right?
Yeah, we'll talk about the watch later. But I felt like I deserved more because he got $5 million from AMG and like $4 million from Sony, and he bought me a watch. And I felt like if I didn't put that album together, we wouldn't have got either one of those deals. Wow. On top of what really made me leave, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I tried to leave with 50 Cent too, and it didn't work. I left with LL though. But when I left, when at the time, Troy Carter, shout out to Troy Carter.
Spotify.
Troy Carter was super hot with Eve. He was only managing Eve. He wasn't this Lady Gaga big guy right now. But he was only managing Eve, and Eve was hot. And Chris brought him in and gave him equity in the company, and that was it for me. I said, I'm out.
Because someone new got equity?
Because somebody who didn't put in the work that I did from the beginning, Foxy Brown, Busta Rhymes, LL Cool J, Violator compilation album, you know, all of this shit is on my resume, that I was still getting a check and somebody got equity in the company. And the only two people that had equity in the company was Mona and Chris. And I felt like I was next in line, and then James.
Right.
And I didn't get it, and I was like...
Marty, you next in line to have that equity in the Love and Hip Hop.
She already has it. She has equity in something else.
Yeah.
It's Drink Champs, right?
James,
It's Drink Champs, right?
You got a shot? You ain't finished your shot. You want another one?
No, I'm okay.
That's okay.
Slowly, I have to pace
Only
myself.
me and you drinking. These guys.
I told you don't catch me off guard.
No, it's good. I'm on your shit. And this shit, I'm on your shit.
I will say one thing. I'm so, again, I'm a generation under you guys.
Yes.
Right.
Not to keep throwing that you guys are a little older
Keep
than me.
hey.
But I will say that the impact that Violator had on the culture is like, I can never match, because I remember when
technically Love and Hip Hop is Violator.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, in a way.
It was all the artists we represented in their lives, and they girls and this and that.
I mean, you guys would have been the great producers behind Love and Hip Hop. You guys really helped produce Love and Hip Hop really back in the day.
All due respect to Mona. Mona Scott always had the plan to be in TV.
That was her vision.
That was her vision from day one. Can never take that away from that woman.
Right.
She knew that's where she wanted to go. She was going
I
there.
am not
and she
gonna
got
lie to
there.
you. From Lexington Avenue,
Yes.
Mona even moved to 25th Street. For the last, I want to say, 3 years of Mona being at Violator, all she thought about was being
Television.
in TV.
She's absolutely an innovator.
She knew exactly what she was doing.
And when she said TV, you ain't think about her being on TV.
No.
You thought about
she wanted to
working
film and
there.
television.
Produce.
She wanted to produce.
She knew where her next step was.
Right.
That's the one thing about Mona. Mona was the visionary of the company. Mona created the slogans for the company. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like the Violator first album was called Hits Not Hype. Mona came up with that. That was Mona was the one who was the visionary and saw where we were going as a company. And she saw where she was going in terms of TV and film. So when Love and Hip Hop came, I was like, of course we knew that was gonna happen, because Mona always knew she was going that way.
She always had the strategy. Remember, Violator was a rite of passage. From an artist standpoint, you came through Violator at some point.
Yeah,
We managed
Ja Rule was on
everybody.
Violator.
We managed almost
50 Cent was on Violator.
You know.
Nas was on Violator.
Violator was the rucker.
Jay
It was the rucker to me. You had to come
Jay
through.
wasn't on Violator, but he did
Diddy was
business.
on Violator.
Diddy was on Violator.
Right.
That's crazy.
Puff Pass tour. Snoop Dogg and Puff Daddy on tour in Europe in 2003. That was a Violator tour. Chris left me and Harv P out there on the road by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have this, it was a rite of passage, like the Rucker was. Every NBA star after college or when they got drafted had to play the Rucker. Every artist had to come through Violator. Some executives, we had Troy Carter, we had John Monopoly, we had Yvette Davila, we had, you know what I'm saying? It was like,
Todd
Moskowitz. Like, you know, it was almost like you had to come through there because you had to get that feeling. You had to stand next to that.
Claudine Joseph.
Lori Dobbins. You know what I'm saying?
She's doing Lori Dobbins, but Claudine is doing her thing with LA.
Claudine's killing it.
Shout out to the women.
Shout out to the women. You gotta remember,
Yes.
Claudine, for the executive that she's morphed into, and the individual that she's morphed into, yo,
Remember, she started like an intern.
She was Chris' assistant.
And Laura said intern, I'm sorry.
She's running shit
Akina
now,
Rahman.
Akina, yeah.
Akina, like, you have to understand, what was the tall girl?
Laura Associate. Yeah.
Yo, you have to, like, those days, Chris, you know one thing that Chris never did and Mona never did neither? Never held nothing back.
Yeah.
A lot of people keep
And they
so
always
much
let us do
close
our
to the
thing.
chest and don't want to teach
They always
the
let
next
us do our
one.
thing.
They always say,
you were gonna say something though, real quick.
No, just even before the Love and Hip Hop stuff, like when working at Slip and Slide and Ted wanting to reinvigorate the management side of the label, which was Boss Man Management that originally was brought in by Red, who managed Trina and Trick. He wanted to bring it back because Violator was what they were doing in the corporate space and everything. Like we literally, Byron tries to manage Plies at one point, and I wanted to start the company and wanted to be the Violator of the South. That was our goal because of what you guys brought together. So kudos to Violator for the culture you guys have done.
I think we're having a drink champs moment. 1, 2, 3.
Let me ask you something. Hold on, but right quick.
Yeah, go.
A lot of the story that you had Homeboy Management, and then you ended up with it was a constant Mob D. A lot of people was like that. When you start out the game, you get hot, and you realize like, wait, this is another level of the game that my homeboy, who's running his management company out of his car, can't handle.
But what made Violator unique was it was a dude who looked like your homeboy.
Exactly.
Right.
He looked just like your homeboy, but his collar was a little bit better. Like his collar was.
Nah, Chris, he was wearing tight shit before. Instead of the black nap hat, Chris had the Gucci one. You know what I'm saying? With the Gucci hat.
So that's what it is. It was the first facilitator because a lot of people don't know how important labels and management offices was.
Relationships.
No, not even relationships. Offices was because you know what happened is. There's no financial. Now me speaking from the artist point of view. I'm from wherever. I'm from Left Rack. I make $3,000 a fucking year, and now I'm making. My first contract is $400,000 or whatever, right? My first solo, my first solo was like $800,000, $750,000. But there's no person to teach me how to maintain that money. And so all you think is just, I go from here, I go over there. The label, the management company was that middle ground. Where you go, you sit down, and this Method Man sitting there getting a haircut like, yo, man, I just fucked up on this investment. And you listen to him waiting to get a cut from Chris, and you like, oh, shit. And then you listening to the next guy, and that's how you kind of learn financial stability. There was no artist development.
No doubt.
There still isn't.
No doubt.
Like I wish I could have spoke to Pop Smoke. Like I wish I could have told him like don't stay in Hollywood Hills.
Me too.
That's not where they be.
Me too.
Like you know what I'm saying? That's where they all look. Like there's places in Miami that I don't give a fuck what artist you is. I don't give a fuck if you want to stay at Satai. I don't care if you want to stay at the St. Regis. I don't care if you want to stay at the W. Listen, when you post that picture, I know the room you in, bro.
No doubt.
Me,
No doubt. No doubt.
I've been out here 14 years.
No doubt.
It's unless you're going to Star Island and spending $20 million a night, then I can't identify where you at.
No doubt.
But if you spending some y'all in the night, I know when you post that y'all, 738, the W, South Beach. You at the Satai, 2221. Because I stayed it everywhere. So you gotta relax and listen to your OG.
No doubt.
Paying it forward. We just discussed that. We got to pay it forward.
Right.
That's our responsibility.
A lot of the like the new school artists.
Shabazz, the OG, the motherfucker.
That's one of my favorite Instagram pages.
Yo, if you don't listen, I'll tell people right now. If you don't listen to Shabazz the OG Instagram page, I don't like you. Like,
Years old.
I just be
Years old.
I just be like,
Years old.
yeah.
Years old. Years old. You gotta be on Shabazz page.
Like if you don't know about him, like you don't have to follow him. But if you don't know about him, I just judge you. Like it's like if you walk into a room, you don't got a good watch, I just be looking at you like. That's just me.
On the watch?
No, I like watches. I like good watches.
Apple Watch ain't good enough for you?
No, you got the presidential.
I said
one.
Apple Watch. I didn't say president. Don't look at my watch.
No, Apple Watch. Apple Watch is good enough. Apple Watch is good enough.
I want to make sure. I want to make sure. You know, can I know E left that watch at home? He was talking about on purpose.
No,
I've been in the watch game for
very long time. I know his watch game. I looked up to him for his watch game.
I'm keeping it all the way G with you. I almost missed my flight this morning and left out with bracelet, watch, everything.
No, it's okay.
So,
Listen,
whatever.
And you own like a couple of what is the shit, Mom?
So I invested in some Jersey Mikes.
Yeah.
Franchises.
So I could get free Jersey Mikes. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not one of those guys. I just want a discount.
No, you can have free. You can have a free Jersey Mike.
So wait a minute. That's Subway's little man?
No, it's Subway's big homie.
I had it confused.
Can you hear me now?
I thought Jersey Mikes.
No, it's like upscale.
Cause I stay in this place, like when I go to LA, when I'm on the low, I stay in this place in Westwood, and in the building I stay at, it's a Jersey Mike's right under there. And this is when I was trying to build my low carb shit.
Now I know that building.
Shit. I would get the whole sandwich, no bread, and then I go back and be like, I wasn't satisfied. Let me get the bread. I'll be fucking up. But for real, so how did this happen? Like,
I realized that I got tired of chasing 16-year-olds around the country.
Okay, that sounded a little crazy. Let's just clarify that.
Yes.
You don't want to be
in the business perspective.
to catch a predator.
Yeah. All right, FD. Relax.
No. What I mean, so I started managing this young kid who, like, when I started managing, he had 1.7 million in followers. No deal, no record in the street, no nothing.
You had to do Justin Bieber.
Right. And I got offered like $4 million to do this deal. Universal Republic was in for like $5 million. And the kid was like, nah, I don't want to do no deal. And then there was promoters from around the country who I was reaching out to, like, yo, I got this kid. They was offering like, do 10,000. He was like, nah, I want 20,000. And I realized like all of this money is slowing up because he keeps saying no. And I just got tired of being dependent on making money from other people. And, I have a 10,000 square foot house that I have to maintain. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, time out. I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, let's get back to the square footage.
What square footage?
Yeah, square footage.
Yeah, my daughter's tuition is $47,000 a year for high school.
Let's make some noise for...
You feel me? So, and I'm keeping it, and so I gotta pay that bill every month. I gotta wake up and pay that bill. And if this kid says no, I don't want to do something that takes from my bottom line. So I had to start investing in other shit that would secure that bottom line. So my transition, I'm still managing artists, right? But my transition is I want to manage products instead of managing people. Because products don't talk back.